When I'm lonely in the dark, I know you are with me. Yeah. Don't you see that I need you so much? Don't you see that I love you so much? Oh na 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 na, oh na 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 na, darling, I need your love. Oh na 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 na, oh na 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 na, darling, I need your love.
What is going on, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome back to another Meet the Gamers live, guys. Tonight we have Farmer Cop as our guest tonight. He does a lot of FS19 videos and everything, guys. So I hope you guys do enjoy tonight's episode. Next episode is going to be SLRP, but instead of everybody, we're going to be doing staged nights, is what I'm going to be calling it. Is we're going to have one night, it's going to be all FD. The next night, it's going to be all LEO. And then probably we'll do another night will be completely all civs. Is how we're going to do it, guys. More than likely, that's how we're going to do it. So yeah, guys, if you guys are in SLRP, if you are a firefighter, Elio or a Civ. Stay tuned if you guys would like to be on Meet the Gamers. We will hopefully be hosting you guys pretty soon here. Farmer Cop is a great guy, guys. He does a lot of Farming Simulator 19, and I believe he is a cop in real life as well, guys. So, yeah, make sure you guys hit that like button. I would greatly, greatly, greatly appreciate it, guys. Our like goal tonight is going to be, let's go ahead and start off with 15 likes. 15 likes is going to be our like goal, guys. Shout outs to Lee up in chat, and then looks like we are all set. So, all right, guys, let's get to it. Hope you guys enjoy today's episode.
Yes, I did.
You did good. All right,
Yep.
good. Good.
All right.
Sphinx
and we
Sower's
are
up in the
here-
house. There's a big
we
Farmer
are
Cop
here
fan right
with
there.
Cookies. We got the wonderful chocolate chip cookies. We got our boy Criminal Justice, and we have our very special guest, Farmer Cop, down there in the bottom left-hand corner. He is linked the very top of the description.
Yep.
Go check him out. Real down-to-earth guy, and a farming simulator guru, right?
Yeah, yeah, he is.
Yeah.
It
So
might be
go
a
check him out.
stretch. I'll take it, but it might be a stretch.
He said, "I'll take it." Hell yeah! What's up, Marcus? How you doing, man?
I was going to ask you, since we're live now and everybody can everybody hear the game audio? Jeffrey, say something real quick.
Here,
Say what?
I'll say something.
There you go. Okay, game audio is good. All right.
Okay.
I was going to ask you, you were on the Farm Sim show not too long ago, right?
Yeah, about a month ago.
About a
Speaking
month
of that,
ago.
Speaking,
DJ Gohan.
Yeah, we
same
had
here.
DJ Goham on here, man. He's a very lively person.
You know
Oh,
what's
yeah.
funny?
No, he's in the he's in the chat.
He's in my chat
right
too.
now.
Yeah.
Oh, DJ is he in
Yeah,
the chat?
yeah.
Yeah,
DJ's
he's saying Farmer Cop exclamation point. That's too many exclamation points, DJ Goham. If you do it again, I'm gonna have to ask you to leave the chat. Thank you, sir.
Yeah, we had a pretty good time with him on the show too. Yeah, I seen you on the Farm Sim show. I didn't catch the live, but I seen where you were on. I was like, man, I missed that. I missed that episode because I watch all the Farm Sim shows. So,
Yeah.
but I wanted to ask you. I'm sure a lot of people probably know this about you. You are a police officer in real life, correct?
Correct.
So we all want to say thank you for your service because over here in this community, we support our police officers, our EMTs, troops, veterans and all that. So we do want to tell you that we appreciate your service, man.
Absolutely.
Thank you. I do appreciate that. That does.
Yeah.
Honestly, I get the. I mean, and I have a 98 people watching over my channel. Thank you guys for coming. It's good to see you. You guys are not used to seeing my face, are you? This is the second time I've ever shown my face. So good to have you guys. But honestly, the community that I have, I mean, and that makes sense. I mean, if they subscribe to me, they're probably not going to hate police officers. But at the same time,
Right.
the amount of times that they say thank you for my service and thank me for what I do, it's super cool to see that. So
Yeah,
I really do appreciate it. That actually, honestly, is super cool to see all that. So
Yeah, I'm sure, man. It's, with everything going on, I'm sure it is, man. I'm sure it is.
yeah,
absolutely.
it's a crazy world right now. That's for
It
sure.
it truly is.
It really is. Let's go ahead.
So I was gonna ask you who inspired you as far as your farm sim gameplay and all that. Who inspired you to start?
I would say Mr. Silly Pete. I think he is my
Okay.
he is my go-to. I before I did any YouTubing, he was honestly the only person I watched, period, on YouTube, really. Other
Mhm.
than for other random stuff. He was the only person that I watched regularly. The only person I think he was the first person I've ever subscribed to on YouTube. Just because I didn't really know a whole lot about YouTube. I just knew that there's videos on there and stuff. I didn't know anything about YouTube, didn't know a darn thing. And then I started watching DJ or not. I love DJ Goham, of course. I just saw him in
Yeah.
my chat. That's why my mind jumped there. Good to see you, DJ. But I know Mr. Silly P just kills it. I love everything he does on there, and that's first channel I always go to watch. So
Yeah, he's got that unique intro, and he says, "With me, Mr. Silly P."
I love it.
He's got
Love it
that.
every time.
Yeah. DJ up in the chat. What's up, DJ? How you doing, man?
Hey,
How you
how's it
doing,
going,
brother?
DJ?
Yeah, he's up in the chat. Yeah, we what episode is this, by the way, guys? What is this? 30? Is this 40? Is this 40?
41.
41.
41.
Wow.
41st
41
episode.
That's awesome.
Can you
That's
believe?
awesome.
Yeah, man, it's crazy, to see where we were. Actually, this is technically episode 45, but we cut 4 of them out from the beginning for
Yeah.
personal reasons. But it just to go from when I first reached out to Criminal Justice to be on the show, when it was just a thought, right? And this show stemmed from COVID. It was COVID that
Mhm.
Yeah.
because
That's-
with my
well-
with my job, it all started. We started doing meetings through what the hell is that app called? Zoom.
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 Yeah. And I thought, you know what? Why don't gamers do this? I don't ever see gamers just doing like Zoom meetings and going live. So that's where it came from.
I love it. DJ over my chat said Mr. Silly P inspired me as well, which I knew that about DJ. DJ loves Mr. Silly P, so yeah.
Yeah, we originally started off with MTG and Jeffrey's office in his Discord. If you guys remember that.
Yeah,
what?
it was. It was over there.
It was
It
in
started in your
office.
Discord. Meet the Gamers did.
Oh yeah, in my office. Yeah. Yeah.
Until
Yeah.
we built a Meet the Gamers, an official Meet the Gamers Discord. So, did you guys give Farmer Cop the VIP role? By the way,
Yes, I believe he has
he's got
it.
the VIP role.
I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
Just check here.
So, I mean, I'm just gonna tell you that I'm a big fan of your work. I love watching your videos. I love watching your tutorials have been life saving for me at times. Especially with the global company mods. I had a hard time understanding those mods, and
Hey,
you have
how's it
like
going,
what
Proxy? How's it
20
going?
something videos in the series on that.
Well, I think it's even more than that, but yeah,
Yeah.
there's a lot in there.
But
that was a big series.
But I actually have done some tutorials on my second channel, and influenced by you. When I first started doing tutorials over there, it was modding tutorials, and then I started doing the animal tutorials, and I'm just now getting into global company modding tutorials. So, but yeah, I'm a big fan, and I know a lot of people here in the chat are a big fan. There's somebody in my chat right now named Sphinx Solar, and he is a huge farmer. Yeah, he is a huge Farmer Cop fan. When I told him that you and I have been chatting on Discord, he was like, "Oh my God, you've been talking to Farmer Cop," So he's a huge Farmer Cop fan.
For me,
Are you leaving?
It's like that is honestly one of the weirdest things. Is just like people think it's cool to talk to me. Like it just drives me. It's super weird. It's a new. It's very.
It is. It really is, man. I had this one kid. I had this one kid hit me up on the Discord. I actually sent CJ a picture of it. And I got a DM and it said, "Are you the real one?" And I messaged him back and I said, "The real one what?" And he said, "The real YouTuber." And I said, "Yes, sir, in the flesh," And he was like, oh my God, I'm freaking out. Like, oh my God, I'm freaking out. I'm shaking right now. I'm such a huge fan. It's like, man, when this camera goes off, I am just a regular guy mowing my lawn and taking out my trash,
picking up sticks,
cooking eggs and shit, and it's like it's just crazy. It's crazy the impact that you have on people, whether you have, I don't care if you have 20 subs, I don't care if you have 100,000 subs. It's how you engage with them,
Absolutely.
and it's just it feels really good though. It really does. What's up, Don Mitch?
Yeah, I noticed that in Farmer Cop's live streams, he interacts just like with every single person. I know you try to. Like you interact with just about, because I know when I come in there talking to you, you'll say, "Hey man, what's going on?" And then I'll see you talk to the next person. It's like, and it's hard to do. It's hard to do, but it's when people are excited to talk to us as YouTubers, it's a good point of motivation for us. It makes us want to do more. It makes us want to grow bigger and do better things, so it's always a good point of motivation.
I always try it, and they make fun of me. Because I interact so much, they make fun of me when I miss a comment, which I love. I love the banter I have with my community. They'll start saying #ignore cop inside the chat, and I love it.
Oh
But,
yeah.
But no, I try to go through and I try to read every comment, and I'll try to at least acknowledge every person in there. And I spend like the first 5 minutes every stream just trying to acknowledge and read every name, like welcoming everyone in. Because I mean, I'm nothing without them. They're the reason I'm here. So
right, absolutely, yeah.
And same thing with like people that message me, and they'll get so excited when I message them back. But I respond to every email, every Facebook message, every Discord message I get, and I read every single comment. And I sometimes it takes me a while. Like I got a bunch. I'm looking over at my Discord, like, oh, I got like 50 unread messages there, but I'll get to them. Like sometimes it takes me 2 days with my work schedule, but I'm gonna get to them. So it's and to me that's important. It's like if someone took the time to find me and message me, it's like I'm gonna acknowledge them. So
like I say, it's a good point of motivation, man, when people want to talk to you that much, because because of what we do. And like whether, like Jeffrey said, no matter the amount of subs you have, or whether you play
Absolutely.
Farm Sim or whether you play LSP4 on GT5 like we do,
Right.
people, we all interact differently with our audience, and I think it's a very important. I have a lot of respect for YouTubers. When I go into a YouTuber's chat and I see them interacting with their audience, I think that just makes me have so much more respect for that person.
Yeah.
It really does.
Yeah.
DJ says we're just weird dudes most of the time.
Yeah.
Most
And
of the
Banks
time.
Sinatra over at my channel. Thank you for the $49.99 super chat, my friend, saying cheers. Thank you, Banks. Banks is a good
Nice.
supporter of the channel, so thank you.
Shout
man.
out to
Appreciate that.
Banks. Shout out to
Nice,
Banks.
man.
$49 super chat. Those are always good, man. Those are always good. I got $100 worth of super chats last night from Criminal Justice right there, man.
Yeah, I was throwing some donuts a little bit.
Yeah, I feel like I don't deserve it. You know what I mean? But they're much appreciated. I have a question for Farmer Cop from Thomas Collins. Wants to know how long have you been a cop?
So I've been a cop. I just July actually, July 23rd. July 23rd is my 3
Hey,
year
how's it going,
anniversary
Mexican?
as
How's
a
it going,
police
man?
officer.
Oh wow, okay.
Oh, nice, man. Okay.
And I'm gonna throw out a piece of personal tidbit. I'm only 24 years old, so I applied to be a cop when I was 20, and in Washington you have to be 21 to be hired by a police agency. So I got hired just after I turned 21. So I've known I wanted to do this for a while. Before I was a police officer, I was a police intern for 3 years, and before that I was a police explorer for 4 years in high school. So I've been working towards this for a while, which is super cool. I love what I do. But yep, it's awesome. I'm still super young though, so
That's a plus, man. That's a plus.
Yep.
That is a plus.
Criminal Justice, you just joined my channel as an officer. Welcome. my
Yeah,
friend.
I don't know why I wasn't supporting you before. I really thought that I was a supporter over there, but I figured I would go ahead and make it official today.
Washington State? Is
Yeah.
it Washington State?
Yep, Washington State.
Yep.
Doesn't it
Washington,
rain a
KC,
majority
yes,
of the time
Washington
there?
State.
It depends on what side of the state you're on. So
Okay, I got you.
Eastern side of the state it's basically like the Midwest kind of I would say climate. Not as extreme, maybe. It's like if you know like Idaho, Montana, it's gonna be more like that range. But Western Washington, so on the other side of the mountains, there's a lot of rain over there. And it doesn't rain, and people think it actually doesn't get that much rainfall, but it'll just randomly sprinkle for like an hour randomly. So it's just like that's why it gets the name for the rain. Even though it doesn't
Right.
it never
Yeah.
like pours rain, it just sprinkles every so often. But I'm not really I like the east side better. I live on the east side, so
Yeah. So do you work county or do you work city police?
I work for a city.
You work for the city? All right.
Yeah.
And you said you've been a cop for what, 3 years?
3 years, yep.
So have you like ranked up or anything like that? Have you ranked up?
Yes. So oh gosh, what's scary is in less than a year I'll be able to supervise a shift. That'll be scary.
Oh, nice. Nice.
Oh,
Oh,
God
nice.
help them.
I know.
Yeah.
I'm just joking. I don't
The
know.
town will be in my hands.
There you
Right.
go.
Do you guys get a
Hey,
lot of
McCully, how's it going, brother?
how do I say this? I mean, there's really no way to say this without sounding political about it. Do you guys get a lot of constitutionalists and activists out there filming you and,
Honestly, where I'm at, not so much. Occasionally, but it's not super often. It's not super
Right.
often. So I'd say
Okay.
it's probably I might deal with someone like that once a month, so not super often, which is that's
Yeah.
fine with me. I'm good with that.
Right, right. And I'm only asking because it's so common these days where people are just randomly just filming the police waiting on them to make a mistake, which
Oh,
I think
gosh,
is
yeah.
just kind of harassment, you
Well,
know?
I mean, and I'll be honest,
Hey, not a
I
problem
don't
there,
even, it doesn't
McCully,
even
not a
bug
problem,
me.
man.
One of the things I love about my agency is I have a body cam and I turn that thing on all the time.
Right.
Because I know for a fact that when I go to work, I do the right thing, and I want people to see that. And
Yeah.
I've had so many complaints that were just completely unfounded that they're like, well, let's just go watch the body cam, and they watch it like, well, obviously that didn't happen. So it's like my
Yeah.
body cam has saved me so many times, and I love it.
Oh yeah.
So
Yeah,
it's super
absolutely.
important to me. Tobo Fish,
Yeah.
the 99.99 super chat. Thank you, man. And I got Jared, welcome to Officer, my friend, and Chopper7729, welcome to Officer over on the channel. Sorry,
Damn.
brief intermission.
Oh, hey, you got to do what you
Yeah.
got to do. It's all
Yeah,
about the
Yep.
viewers and the fans and the subscribers.
Yeah.
Dax Boy Games wants to know What do you think of LSPDFR being a real cop? Do you play it? Have you played it?
I don't play it. I don't even know if I have any coworkers that play it. I have some coworkers that play GTA, but they don't do any police work on there, that's for sure. But
Oh,
I
okay.
don't, I don't know how to get it all set up. It's probably super easy. Maybe it is, maybe it's not. I don't know a lot about it, but I would be willing to do it for sure at some point. I think it'd be a lot of fun.
Well, if you watch that guy's
Something you
videos
definitely
right
got to get the
there,
hang of. What's
Yeah.
that?
I said if he watches your videos, man, you'll be on patrol in no time.
Yeah.
Well, I tell you, between me and Jeffrey here and, Cookies, we all do tutorials on that specific mod, like very detailed tutorials that come and it's like I always tell people, I could teach your grandmother how to play this game, how to install it, how to play it, because it's just, we do it step for step so that people will understand, because modding is not an easy thing. It's not something that's
Right.
very easy,
Yeah.
but yeah, if you ever want to learn, man, like our videos are there if you ever want to learn.
Yeah, and I can give you some pointers as an officer too. I'm a corporal, so I'll be able to, give you some pointers if you need them.
Sweet. I'll take
He's
it.
a corporal in a role play server.
He outranks me, so I got.
I'm a supervisor for a maintenance. I'll just tell you, I'm a supervisor for a
You
maintenance
know what they say?
department.
Sometimes they promote you to get you off the street.
Oh,
Yeah.
you are right.
Yeah,
Oh,
we
my
play in a
God.
role play server called Silver Lining Roleplay, where I just made Leo. So I just made Deputy. What is it, Deputy 1? I made Deputy 1 over there. And Jeffrey was my FTO, so he was training me. We did the in-game training today, which was really cool. I got to do a traffic stop. I got to do a pursuit, which was cool. So it's different. It's actually very realistic. SLRP is very realistic. And it's different from LSPFR because you're talking to actual people and not AIs. So, the interaction's a lot different, but it's fun nonetheless. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
it is fun nonetheless.
Just so you guys know, over on my channel, in case you're not familiar, the term I've said it before on my channel. The term FTO means Field Training Officer. So that's
Right.
the officer
Yeah.
that would shadow you if you're in training.
Right. Yeah.
I do that all the time. Most of the time outside of work, I don't hang out with other cops for the most part, just because I think it's important to have. I have friends that are cops, obviously, but I think it's important to have a mix of friends. But no, and I'll say stuff like, "Oh yeah, on FTO," and they'll be like, "What are you talking about?"
Right. Yeah.
I'm starting to use my cop lingo.
Yeah.
Do you have any advice for there? I got somebody in chat that wants to know. Do you have any advice for somebody that wants to pursue? Salvador wants to know if you have any advice for somebody wanting to pursue law enforcement.
Yeah, absolutely. I would encourage you, whatever area you want to work in. I would go ride along with that police department that you want to work with, or that sheriff's office. Do as many ride-alongs as you can, as they'll let you, on multiple agencies, multiple shifts. Get a feel for it, because not only do you want to, if you're looking for an agency, not only do you want it to be the type of work that you want to do, because maybe you're like, I don't want to do that much work, like that seemed like it was too busy, or maybe it's not busy enough. So you want to kind of have a feel for it, and you also want to know the people
Hey,
you're going
how's
to
it
work
going,
with.
Bleach?
So a big part of where I work is I rode along a lot with the officers there, and I got to know some of them, and I was like, these are the type of people I want to work with. So that was why I chose the department I did. In addition to that, I would say stay in shape. Physical exercise is good.
I swear to
Right,
God,
yeah.
that's going to be
Big
my
deal.
piece of advice.
That is the number one thing that fails people when they're trying to become police officers, is the physical agility test. So make sure you're in good shape. You should be able to, on a bad day, max out whatever the test is, because then when you're under pressure on the test day, you should be fine.
Right.
So that's what I'd recommend.
That makes sense.
Obviously,
Yeah.
don't commit crimes. That's a pretty obvious one, I think. And I would say drive respectfully. Don't be in a hurry. Just drive like a normal human being. You don't want a lot of traffic stops and a lot of tickets on your record or anything like that, because they're like, well, if you drive like that in your personal vehicle, we don't want you to be driving a police car like that. So
Yep.
I would say just be aware of what you're trying to do and set a good example, and be like, yeah, this is what I want to do, so I want to look good to that, and just understand that you're representing a police agency and you're representing that community, and they want you to look good doing it. So
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's good advice.
So I got a question. This is getting back to farming sim. You probably use mods, right, for farming sim?
oh yeah,
Yeah. How
Love
much? Right. That's probably a stupid question. Roughly how many mods do you have in your farming sim?
So I'm not as crazy as some. I would say the average number I have, and I keep different mod folders for every gameplay series I have going, just to help keep them separate. And I'll choose different mods because, like, if I'm doing a gameplay on a big map, I'm going to want bigger buildings and equipment versus
Yeah,
a small map. But I usually run probably anywhere from 100 to 300 mods. I think probably in a gameplay, and I
Yeah,
usually
with your
add more as I
cookie
go. I'm
space.
like, oh, I forgot all these 38 mods that I wanted, so I'll add. And then usually by the end of it, I'm probably averaging 400 to 500.
wow.
But yeah,
Wow, yeah. I
Oh, I
do
thought
different mod
cookies was gonna
folders
be
too
like that.
myself on that game. I do different modded folders.
yeah.
Just because if you don't, man, and you have them all in
Oh, yeah.
one, it's gonna impact your game eventually. It's gonna eventually impact your game.
At the end of the game, I may have, if I'm lucky, used 50 of the mods.
Right.
Yeah.
But I
Yep.
just want
10.
them there. I just want to have the option.
Yeah.
So,
Wow, 500 mod cookies. How many you got?
Well, I used to have like 2, 3, and then I had to wipe my folder because I had a few corrupt ones, and now I have like 3, roughly.
oh, nice.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I was trying to see in my mod folder how it doesn't show me each. I'd have to go each individual one, but I think
I think I have about 201 mods folder, maybe 200 and just one. I do have a specific folder that I use just for tutorials. That's got maybe like 10 mods in it.
Yeah,
And
I have
that's
the
just
same.
the basic mods I use, like my dash time mod, the time scale mod I sent you that speeds up your time by the push of a button. Because I know that you use easy development commands a lot, which allows you to speed up the time. Have you heard of dash time, Farmer Cop? Do you use that?
I haven't.
I tell you, man, it's you put in your game and you hold down the 0 key, and your clock will literally go like this. Like it will spin your time super fast. And I noticed that you use time speed a lot. So I'll just send that to you and let you check it out because it's a really, really cool mod. I really like it.
I took a note of it the way I take most notes. I put it on a sticky note.
I got you. Yeah, you can find
I have-
FS19 mods. Yeah, it's there,
Oh
man.
yeah. I
That's
keep
my
I
that's
keep
my
a notepad in
organization.
my
Yeah, there you go. I say on my desk, I think anytime I have like right now I probably have 20 sticky notepads in my
yeah,
desk.
and CJ, you definitely want one for I mean I'm if you don't mind, may I make that announcement right now, CJ?
Yeah, go ahead.
CJ, just earlier today, oh, I hear myself. I don't know if
Yeah, I hear an echo
weird.
too.
CJ earlier today has completed his SLRP Academy. So CJ is now officially an LEO with SLRP.
Congrats,
And
man.
we will both be playing SLRP tomorrow night, but we will not be streaming as we can't stream.
Yep,
We
can't stream.
when we do FTO. Although they did say on our last ride along, right? I want to do 3 of them. I want to do the first one where CJ and I, he's pretty much following me, watching me. Of course, he'll drive the car, you'll work the radio, get used to it. The next patrol, he'll do a little more of the work than anything. And then the third one, they said, yes, you can stream it. So there will be an episode where y'all will see GG and CJ
That's gonna be awesome.
rolling LEO in the FPIU. So definitely have a notepad did you show me you got a notepad, right? Oh, your phone.
Yeah, my iPhone has a notepad in it, and I will like when I did the in-game training, I literally have a picture of every slide that they put up on the screen for me.
Yeah.
So
well,
there's
when you
like
get the postals and everything, when you get to a scene,
Mhm.
there's like there's a lot that you got to do, right? You got to write down the time,
Yeah.
the postal, the street, all that stuff. So I don't know if it's quicker for you to just jot it down on a pad or hit your phone, whatever makes you
I got mine
makes
right
you
here.
comfortable, man.
I think the thing that like I had the jitters today doing the pursuit, and I actually lost the pursuit at the last part of it because the pursuit went right and I went left because they were just a little bit ahead. I'm in secondary, so I'm calling like, we're headed eastbound, yada yada yada. Now we're headed northbound. The suspect has made a right, made a left. So when they made that last right, I didn't see them, and I went left thinking they went that way, and I lost the pursuit. So, but it's fun, and you get a little bit of adrenaline kick from, even though it's a game, you get an adrenaline kick from that.
Yeah,
You
you do. You do.
But yeah,
CJ, you were a little nervous today. I could tell you were a little
yeah,
nervous today.
I
You know,
was.
and then he had the boss come in. You know, the
Oh,
sheriff.
yeah. The sheriff.
Oh my
sheriff came
god,
in.
yeah, and he popped out of the car.
Yeah, listen, I was teaching CJ how to code 5, how to code 5 a vehicle, right? And although they don't call it code 5, but I was teaching him how to do a felony stop. And it was a 2-door sports car, so it was a 2-seater.
Mhm.
And we pulled both guys out, right? Cuffed them, put them in the back of the vehicle, searched them, put them in the back of the vehicle. And then me and CJ were going up to clear out the vehicle. We knew the vehicle was clear because it's a 2-seater, right?
Yeah.
All of a sudden,
Yeah.
this guy pops out of the vehicle, and it was Mark. We were like, "Holy cow!" We didn't know anybody was still in that vehicle. So it was pretty cool. And then he got to have lessons from Mark, who created the service. So that's usually Mark is in there helping, but usually it's Patrick and it's Patrick and Braxton and Dean and Jared and guys like that are doing that training. So and you got it for free from Mark. So
Yeah, when he popped out though, we stayed with it though.
yeah, we
Yeah,
did, man.
get your hands up, get your hands
That's
up. But it took me by surprise because I wasn't expecting that. So it
Right.
was a bit of a surprise. But I think he did that on purpose to test me. So
Yeah,
you know,
he did. He
That's
did.
awesome.
yeah, it was
We-
fun though, man.
We got him though.
Yeah, we got him. Yeah, I
We
actually
got
got to cuff the sheriff.
Yep. It was great.
Yeah.
What's your new call sign, CJ? Do you know yet?
Right now it's 067. I think Jeffrey said when once the train's
Paul.
complete, it'll be Paul 67.
Yeah.
It might even be changed already. Zebra
Okay.
is only when you're a cadet and you gotta Zebra is when you're in the academy, so to speak. So once you pass that academy, the end game training and all that, you then go to a Paul.
And they do it like that because of the COC, right? The chain of command, like the ranks.
Yeah, it's your rank. You go from Paul to Tom to Nora, Frank, and then Sam is like that's
Sam
the
is like
supervisor one.
Yeah.
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 I wonder, is it like that with real police? Like the Sam is supervisor, Paul and Tom, and
That's a good question. I was wondering that myself.
That at least in Washington, I can't speak for the rest of the country, obviously, but in Washington, because I work with cops from all over Washington. In Washington, it depends. It's so random. It depends on where you work. So some agencies might do it that way. Where I work at in my county, we have several different agencies, and each agency has a different, like one agency might start with a 3, and then they have their badge number, which is 2 numbers. One agency might start with a 4, then a 5, and have their badge number after that. And that's how we know who's with what agency. And then within each agency, they do things differently. So like I know my sergeants have lower numbers on the badge numbers versus the rest of us have higher badge numbers. In some agencies, and here's where I could, this would drive me crazy. I've heard of some agencies where every time they come into work, they get a new badge number assigned to them for the night.
oh
And
God,
that's-
Oh.
and I'm like, I couldn't even
Now, I
imagine.
would think
Oh
that's- I would
wow,
think
that
that's
sounds
dangerous,
complicated.
Yeah, so I just like they're like, and it changes too. So like it'll be like the first number will be their zone, the second one will be their rank, the third one will be patrol. And it's like so like they all mean different things, and it's like I couldn't imagine going to
No.
work and be like, yep, here's your
Man.
badge number for the night.
Yeah. No.
Oh
God.
wow.
Yeah, CJ did shoot the sheriff's feet. He did.
When I was Civ, I
Yeah.
lit his feet
And Mark
up.
actually made a joke about that today during the training. I was
I've
wondering
seen
if he caught it when he
Yeah.
said it. Yeah.
Yeah, I did. Yeah. I lit his feet up, man.
Yeah. So, Farmer Cop, here's a question from me that I ask every guest that we have on here. What is your goal with YouTube? Is it? I mean, you're a cop, so your answer might be different because people, when they want to become cops, it's a childhood dream of theirs. So, it might not hinder your decision on quitting being a cop and becoming a YouTuber. But your end game, what is your end? Are you looking to be a cop till you retire, or do you want to be YouTube famous and be rich and not have to throw the badge on anymore?
I've thought a lot about that because when I first started the channel, I never thought it'd be successful. I was like, I'll just do it just for
I
fun.
mean, you're
And
at 37,000 subs, man. That's nothing
right.
to. I mean, that's
Well,
Yeah.
huge.
it's the growth has been crazy recently too, and I can't imagine what it's going to be when the new farming sim comes out. But right now, the channel's been gaining about 200 subs a day, so it's been just
Wow.
yeah,
Wow.
the growth has been ridiculous. And I don't understand why people watch, but I guess they like it, so I'll keep doing it. But no, for me, I mean, for me, it's hard because I really love being a police officer. I love my job. Even with all the crap going on in the world, I still love going and being able to serve my community in
Hey,
that
JT, how's
capacity.
it going, man?
And it seems like it gets harder and harder with more stuff that changes, but I still love going to work and throwing my uniform on and going out and being able to help people and serve in that way. So at the same time, I also realize the stress and what it does to your body over time being a police officer. So I try to
Yeah.
weigh both.
Oh, I'm
And
sure. Yeah.
yeah, and in Washington, and I got in super young. So for me, the retirement age in Washington for police officers, like the normal full retirement age, is 53 years old. So I still have obviously a while to go before I'd hit that. But for me, I could also retire at any age. And my pension is just shifted. So the way our pension works is they take our top 5 years of earnings. So for example, if I made $100,000 a year, just to keep the number simple, for 5 years straight, and that was my top five, then if I retire at 53, I'll have 32 years of service, which will be 64% of 100,000. So then until I die after 53, they'll pay me $64,000 a year with cost of living increases.
Oh,
So
wow.
Wow.
that's our retirement. So what I could do is I could retire at the age of 41 after 20 years of service, or any other number, to be honest, after 5 years, because 5 years is when we're vested. But if I work until I'm 41 and then I retire, then I can just do YouTube. And then once I turn 53, I can draw 40% instead of the 64%. So I could just take whatever at that point. So I've thought about doing that. It just kind of depends. And it's just so far, right now it's so far off. I don't have any plans to quit my job at any time soon, or anything like that. But I used to work a ton of overtime for my department. Then with everything that happened with COVID, we weren't allowed to work as much overtime because the city didn't know how their budget was going to look. So they didn't want us working any overtime. And we went to 12-hour shifts instead of our 10-hour shifts. So I had more time off or longer weekends. So I had all this free time where I used to work probably 60 hours a week, and I would get just lots of overtime pay because that was how I just earn extra money to, pay for whatever or get stuff done around my house and stuff. But then I was like, oh, well, I have all this free time and I'll just start doing YouTube stuff. So now, even now that we're busier, I don't work as much overtime and I just do more YouTube stuff.
Yeah, I think a lot of the reason why people why people love watching you, I think a lot of it has to do with your voice. You have one of those voices that just pulls people in, and the way that you just, like I said, you talk to your audience, and the way that you do your videos, your tutorials, especially your tutorials, the way you are in depth with them and detailed, and overall, it's just you have a great community over there, and I've been a part of your community for quite some time now. And I remember when I first started talking to you about Meet the Gamers, I was like, man, I would love to have you, have you on the show as a guest. But I think a lot of it, man, has to do with just the way that you interact overall with your folks over there, man. It's very important, it's when you're a YouTuber, it's very important.
Yeah. And that's honestly, I did not, that's one of the things that I did not expect about doing YouTube videos. I didn't expect to have that connection to a community like I do. I knew that it was important on YouTube when I started, but I didn't anticipate that I would enjoy it as much as I do. And that's honestly one of my favorite parts. That's what I love about streaming, is just chatting with people while I'm playing my favorite game. That's the best part of it.
Absolutely.
Right, it is. It really
Absolutely.
is. Yeah.
And I tell people that all the time. I stream, I just love sitting here just chatting with people. But
Right.
and it's something that I never thought I would enjoy as much as I do. And I love my community, and I'm willing to say that I have the best farming simulator community out there. I'm willing to say that on behalf of my community because they're absolutely amazing. So, anyway.
Yeah, I mean, the amount of support that you get over there, and 200 subs a day. I mean,
That's crazy.
that
It
is
is.
crazy. But like I said, I can see why people are subbing to you like that, because of all the amazing content. You have amazing content, man. I mean, your content's legit. It's all in 1080p. It's all just really good, wholesome and legit content, man. And I think that you know, with the way that you interact with your community, like I said, I think that's a lot of the reason people love you, man, and they love watching you.
Yeah.
So yeah,
it's cool to see it's cool to see the sub number and then do a live stream, have new people stop in and say hi and me interact with them, and then after the live stream be like, oh well, we live streamed for 2 hours, but we have 50 more subs at the end. It's
there
like
you
that's what
go.
it's all
Yeah,
about.
Yeah.
So it's like
Yeah.
it's super cool because I've had people in live streams that are like, you're the first YouTuber that's ever acknowledged me in the live stream. I'm like, well, that's how it should be. It's
that's right. Yeah, yeah, because you know, if we don't, I mean, if we don't acknowledge our audience, you know, they're gonna go away. They're just gonna go away, and you know, and even though eventually, when you get to that point, even now, you know, I'm almost at 23K on my main channel now. I'm on the road to 2K on my second channel. Even with 23K, it's hard, especially when I'm live streaming LSPFR. It is hard to keep up with everybody sometimes. I mean, a majority of the time, my chat is talking amongst one another, but I'm still looking over and keeping up with everybody, you know. But it gets rough, man. But if you have 37,000 subscribers and you can still interact with each person, and you do, I think that's an amazing thing, man. So
yeah. Well, I'm talking about how much I interact with them. I've been absolutely ignoring them for this live stream. Absolutely,
they understand though. They know.
Yeah. Feel free to interrupt us. Or
yeah,
shout
man. You
out.
can
If
talk
gotta
to your
respond,
audience, man.
Yeah, man.
They understand. I get exactly. I just and the reason, and I'll blame work for this in a good way. The reason I'm able to read the chat and like bounce back and forth between playing the game and reading the chat and keeping up with it is because when I respond to emergency calls, I'm driving code, lights or siren or whatever, and I have my MDC next to me, and because my dispatch may or may not be the best at getting me the information I need, I am constantly reading their updates that they put in the call, so I'm constantly looking over, driving, and reading stuff as I'm driving, and that I think is like it literally is exactly what I do in a stream, and I think that just doing that every day at work has helped me be able to bounce back.
Yeah,
and forth.
it's trained your mind, so to speak. It's trained your mind. Have you did you take any kind of communication courses in college to be a police officer?
No, so actually, I was going to college, and then the police department, my dream police department, had openings, and I stopped going to college to apply. And I went and I did that, and didn't have my degree finished, and now I'm slowly online finishing. So I've been like a half-time student for the last couple of years, just trying to slowly finish my degree. I'm 18 credits away. I'm so close, but I'm trying to get my criminal justice degree. But no, there's nothing specific to it. I mean, the only communications courses I've taken have been like just like Com 101 or just your very entry level classes. But yeah.
All right, yeah, because I was gonna say, because your charisma is very good. You have very good charisma, you know, talking, and you know, you're always you know, throughout your whole video, you talk about something all the time, and I think that's a really good thing, you know, because people don't want to come to a video and just sit there and hear, you know, they want to hear you. They want to hear you talking. I think it's a good thing that you can do that, man. That's a cool feature to have, man.
Absolutely.
What is the worst? What is the worst call you've? And you don't have to answer these questions. It's just questions. We've had a few cops on our show, right? What is have you ever had to shoot your weapon? And B, what is the worst call that you might have had to? Have you ever seen any dead bodies?
Yeah, that's the worst. So I haven't had to fire my gun on duty other than like training purposes, which is great. I probably pull my gun out of the holster probably 5 times a week. So like I draw it often because there's something that I'm like, I'm going to need this just to make sure I'm safe, whether it be a building search or I've had people that I've stopped on the side of the road that all of a sudden, whoa, don't come back and talk. They'll pop out of their car and start coming back towards my car, and I'll just draw my weapon just to make sure I'm safe and tell them to get back in their car. So like I draw my weapon all the time just to make sure everyone's safe, or stuff like that, or doing perimeter for things and everything like that. So I get my gun out all the time. Haven't had to use it. Knock on wood. Hopefully I never have to on duty. The worst call that I've ever been to, without going into too many details, is, and it's super sad to see some of the stuff. I see as a patrol officer, I see dead bodies all the time. I find dead bodies all the time. So that's something that's probably one of the harder things I think that for me personally I deal with, is like dealing with that, especially when the cause of death might be more gruesome or more terrible, especially if it's self-inflicted. So I've been to some some suicide deaths that have been really hard to process. And the sad part for me, every single suicide death that I've been to, the person has been younger than me, which has been really
Oh, that's terrible,
really
man.
hard
That's
too.
terrible.
So, and I'll be honest with everyone here as well. So I'm a Christian, so it's hard to see that kind of stuff and go through that. And I pray for people a lot. And I pray a lot about what I see and go through on duty. And I love everyone, so it's hard to see that. And then going through, and sometimes at those calls, it's not even necessarily dealing with the person who's deceased. That's hard. It's dealing with their family that's on scene. That's super emotional and everything like that. And just having that kind of weigh on you and trying to kind of. So I've had times where like obviously I have to kind of shut part of myself down and be like, okay, I got a job to do. I got to do my job. But there's been plenty of calls where I've gotten in my car afterwards and just I'm like, I'm just going to sit here and cry for about 5 or 10 minutes until I'm ready to go to the
Yeah,
I
next call.
bet,
So,
man.
I
Jeez.
bet. Yeah, that's got to be. I mean, suicide's never easy to deal with. I mean, and especially being a police officer, I'm
Hey,
sure going to
Nicholas.
those
Yeah, man.
types of scenes and
I
having to
am
look
definitely
at what's
looking
going
forward to
on,
that too, hopefully.
that's
Hopefully very soon there,
terrible,
Nicholas.
man.
Hopefully
yeah,
It's
very,
and
really
I mean
terrible
very
because
soon, man.
I've had people that standing there with weapons that are
Oh,
planning to
apologize
kill
about that. You
themselves
hit
that
the
I've
wrong
talked
button
them
there.
off of that metaphorical cliff, if you will. But where
right.
it's like, and for me, it's easy for you in this career, I think, dealing with that constantly to, and I've been guilty of it at times as well, where you get to a point where you kind of take emotion out of it. But it's super important not to do that. I think it's super important as a police officer uh, to make sure you always feel emotion. Not that it's to the point that it consumes you or takes over what you're doing, but you always want to be a real person. You don't want to shut that off. You
Yeah,
want to feel all the
absolutely.
stuff you see, and I think that making sure I always have those emotions when I'm working is what gives me the ability to be compassionate when people are going through crises and stuff like that.
Yeah, I don't think I've ever heard any other police officer talk about having emotions involved in their work, and that's
Yeah.
a big
It,
plus for me, man.
and
Yeah.
it's funny you say that too. Just a tangent on that. It's and Washington, I think, does better than a lot of other places. They talk about it now in the academy a lot more about the emotion of the job and dealing with stuff that you see that's hard. And I
Hmm.
encourage all my and I'm at the point where I have seniority over like I have there's a fair amount of officers that are underneath me at this point because we've hired a lot of people since I've been hired. And it's like all the young officers that are looking up to the older officers. It's like I don't want us to be the super old school police that don't talk about anything. It's like, it's just a job. Just everyone shut up and go home and just move past it. But it's like, no, we should talk about it because I mean, and the sad reality of it, if you look at the number of officers every year that have died in the line of duty, there's at least twice that many, usually 3 times as many that have killed themselves every year.
Wow, man,
And
that's
that's not something that's
crazy.
really, it's not something that's really talked about, but there's so many hard things that weigh on you in this job, and it's super important to talk about it and have that camaraderie where you're talking about it with your coworkers. So I have some
Yeah.
coworkers that like don't want to have anything to do with it. But
Hey, Justin,
other
how's it going,
coworkers
man?
I've had like, hey, thank
Hey, you
you
gonna
for
be
like
on
being a human
Slurpee
being
tomorrow?
at
You gonna
work.
be
And I'm
on
like, yeah,
Slurpee,
that's
man?
what it's all
Dispatcher?
about. So
Yeah,
it's super cool
it's
to
good
see
to
stuff like
talk
that.
about things, man. To get it off your
Yeah.
chest.
Yeah,
Yep.
definitely.
Super important because then it doesn't
Yeah.
weigh on you.
You ever
You
do
gotta
a
process it
desk
and let
pop?
it go.
You ever do a desk pop?
No, I haven't, thank goodness.
Crap.
My funny story about that. When I went to the police academy, my academy president, when he went back to his agency to go through field training, when he was in his final phase of field training, he did a desk pop and they reset him back to phase 1.
I got you there, Justin. I will
So
be on
I was
myself,
like,
so
oh,
hopefully see you there,
anyhow,
man. Dispatcher,
nope,
hopefully.
All right. Well, when you go back to work, I want you to do a desk pop, record it, put it
right,
on your channel. Okay.
right.
Very important. You put it on your channel.
Speaking of that, you have a second channel too, right?
Yes, I do.
And it is called Cop Farmer. It's backwards, right, from your other ones?
Nope, it's Gamer Cop.
Gamer Cop. That's what it is.
Yep.
Man, I was way off.
Oh, you're good. You're good. That's
I
been
was way off.
suggested to me to do a channel called that. So
Yeah, because I was going to ask you, have you
I'm
thought
not.
about doing a channel
I'm
where you
not
actually
sure
record your
yet there,
policing
Justin. I'm not too
activity and
sure
all that?
yet
Have you
there,
thought
man.
about doing that?
I have thought about that, and I think at some point it's definitely a possibility. But I don't want to come out like no one for them. I mean, some people know where I work and stuff like that. But I got Rusty Money Gaming over my chat, who has a small YouTube channel. Sorry, quick side note. He's also a police officer in Nebraska, if I remember correctly, and he's saying if you don't talk in this career, you'll go down mentally. It's a tough career, and he's been doing it for 21 years. So
Oh, wow.
Rusty,
Wow.
once again, thank you for your service. Rusty's a fantastic guy. But what was I saying? Oh yeah, so Gamer Cop. talking about and doing police stuff, recording police stuff. That's where we're at. Sorry, my mind kind of gets scattered sometimes. You either love it or you don't. So it is what it is. But I've thought about that, and I've thought about different cases and stuff, and I've started I think what I'm going to start doing it because I can public records request any body cam video that I have that's mine and keep it, and I could post it online. It'd be fine. I mean, people do that with my police department's videos all the time on YouTube.
Right.
So I have thought about doing some of that, but I'm going to wait until I get to a point that really, if it forced my hand, I could do YouTube full time. If it forced my hand, if people knew who I was and it just made it so complicated and I didn't like the
All right, Jess, we'll see you, man.
just being that. So I'm going to wait till I get to a point where I can do that.
I understand. I completely understand that. Yeah.
But
yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I completely understand. Yeah, you don't want people knowing. I mean, it's crazy people in the world, man. Yeah, there's crazy people in the world. So, I mean, and with
there really
with,
is though.
you know, with this line, this line of work, man, it's people can get crazy out there. So you got to be careful. Kind of, you interact with your peeps. You know what I mean? But at the same time, you have.
Hey, all right, guys.
That you interact with them because
just
they can.
Lego. I appreciate that.
People have ways these days
of
finding out exactly where you are and who you are and how many kids you have and where you sleep, and all that. So I mean, I keep I have a gun. So if somebody comes to my house, it's if you're coming here to hurt my family, it's going to be a bad mistake. So
absolutely,
but yeah, man, that is. So I was going to ask you about something. They had just passed a law here in Tennessee where I live about concealed carry permits, where you no longer have to have a concealed carry permit to carry a concealed weapon, which in my opinion, I think is kind of bad. I think that's a bad thing. But I wanted to know your input on that and what you think about it.
So that's a tricky one. I can see both, and I try to always be objective as possible. And looking at both sides, I see the arguments on both sides that could come from both sides. I think it's probably a better idea to still have one.
Me too.
Just because who can carry and stuff like that. Yeah, so I think it's probably a better idea just to have one.
Yeah.
But I know there's a lot of states that are starting to go that route. Or there's not, I guess not a lot of states. There's a few states that have started going that route. I'm pretty sure I know, and I actually trying to think if I do know or not. I think Idaho or Montana are similar to that, where you don't need a permit to carry concealed. But Idaho, I believe, has you can still get a permit if you want. It's optional though, so it's kind of weird. And then Idaho also has what's called an enhanced permit, where you have to go through a 40-hour class. And Washington, here's where it gets tricky for me. If you go into Washington and you're carrying on your regular Idaho concealed permit, they don't recognize that, so you're technically committing a misdemeanor in Washington. But if you have an enhanced Idaho concealed carry permit, they recognize that in Washington as being okay. So and then Idaho doesn't care. So Idaho, if I go in, and for me, it doesn't matter anyway. I'm covered under the Law Enforcement Officer Safety Act, so I can carry most places in the United States and not have to worry about it as long as I have my commission card with me, which I carry that in my wallet. So, which, by the way, if anyone doesn't know what that is in the chats or anything, commission card is literally, for me, it's just a photo ID that also serves as a prox key to get me into the police department. On the back of it, it says the RCW, which is the Revised Code of Washington. It says the law that says I'm authorized to be a police officer.
Right.
I saw one of those. I found a wallet once at a gas station, and I remember it was like a week or two before Christmas. Hey, there's the love. Hey, love, in there with the black heart, Jenny O up in the house. I thought she actually might remember this, but I found a wallet. I found a wallet at a gas station, right? And I was dirt poor. Okay, I mean, I was dirt poor, but I still had a big heart. And I opened this wallet, and it was just stacked with cash.
Whoa!
And I remember flipping up this one little flap in the wallet, and bam, there's that card. Had the badge on it, all that shit, and I was like, "Oh shit!" This is this is a police officer's wallet, So I contacted the police department where I live. It was a town that I live in, and they dispatched me through to his cruiser. And this guy came. This cop, he came over in his cruiser, picked up his wallet, and he tossed some money my way, and he says, "Man, you could have taken every dollar out of this wallet especially with me being a cop, because there's people out there that are hateful against cops, and
Mhm.
Yep.
he says you didn't. You called me. Every penny is here, and he tossed me some money. But yeah, I did see that card that he had inside that wallet, man.
Yeah. Well, and a commission card is different than your badge. So like the commission card is actually technically what matters. Because I have my badge on me at almost all times. If I leave my house, I usually am carrying my firearm with me. And I have my badge right next to my gun on my belt. It's just all concealed. But I always carry that when I'm off duty. So just in case I need to do anything, I have that. So it's easier to be able to identify myself and take care of business if it needs to be taken care of. But yeah.
See, and that's cool because you look like well, you're a normal guy.
Yep.
And that's the thing with with off-duty officers is when you have it's funny when you have your uniform on, your facial features, everything, you look like a cop because you have the uniform to back it up. But when
Yeah.
you're in civilian clothes, it's like a bad guy will pull a gun out in front of you, not even thinking the
Yep.
closest thing that you're a cop,
Yep.
and then boom, you've got your gun to their back.
Yeah.
It's funny and I know I don't look like a cop off duty, which I love because I'll be and I love messing with
Hey,
people too.
Miles,
If I have
how's it
someone I'm like,
going,
I
my
don't care if
brother?
this person knows
How's
I'm a
it going,
cop.
Miles?
They'll get to talk with me. We'll just be having small talk about something. And I'll be like, yeah, like, oh, where do you work? I'm like, oh, I work for the city. I'll just start with that usually. They're like, oh, that's cool. What do you do for the city? They'll be like, oh, I work for the police department. And they're like, oh, do you like work in records there or something? And
Are
it's
you
almost always
IT?
what
What are
they
you?
said. Yeah, are you old enough to drive? But no, and then I'm like, no, I'm a police officer, and it's always, oh, and then there's a long pause, like, well, that's cool, and then that's I love it. I love messing with people about that because because I don't look like a cop.
Yeah, you don't. I mean, if I seen you in public and didn't know who you were, I would never think you were a police officer. Yeah,
Yep.
never.
Yep. And
Yeah,
I love it so much.
yeah. That's probably a good thing too. That's
Yep.
probably a good thing.
Yeah, because some of my coworkers, like, you see them off duty, you're like, you look like what you are. It's like you look exactly like what you are all the time. It's like even their facial expression. It's like you're not smiling, you're just looking around, just like just I don't know. They just look like cops.
Are you? I was going to ask you. Are you an affiliate with Giants Software?
Yes.
Are you?
Yeah.
Isn't
See,
that
kinda like
giant
the same thing
isn't that the
DJ
giant
is,
logo
right?
behind you?
Yeah, so very similar to what DJ is. I think DJ's a silver partner now, but I'm a bronze partner with Giants, which is you start off as just a Giants partner, and then after you get so many affiliate clicks and they make so much money off your affiliate links, then you get to bronze. And my understanding is bronze is where you're now able to get early access to stuff. So hopefully I should theoretically get early access to FS22, which would be awesome. So
Where do
but
I
if
sign up?
you just got to go to their. You have on CJ Farms, you have over 1,000 subscribers, which the minimum requirement is 1,000 subs. So
Absolutely, yeah.
they'll approve you right away. You just have to go to their. Oh gosh, let me just Google it.
Oh my gosh, I'm gonna go do it.
That would be awesome,
Absolutely,
man.
I didn't know you could just go sign up.
I would have guessed that you were.
No, I'm not. No, but
Isn't
I
that the
will
logo
be.
behind you.
Yeah, that looks like the Giants logo behind you, isn't it?
What behind Farmer Cop or
Yeah.
me?
Yeah.
Far
Got a
Oh, yeah.
plaque? Is that a plaque up there?
Yeah, I can grab it. There we go. Yeah, this is what they'll send you this if you're a partner.
Oh my gosh, that'll be right here on my
Oh, see.
wall.
Look at
Yep.
CJ.
Yeah, CJ's like,
Oh
yes.
my gosh, man. So yeah, can you link it to me through our Discord chat?
Yeah. There's some, and it's not. I'll go find it later on, and just send me a message. Remind me. And
Okay.
Discord, and I'll send you.
Yeah.
Does your channel have to be Farming Simulator exclusive?
Great question. Yes and no. So the first level of being a Giants partner, there's no requirement, and you get 3% as the affiliate bonus. Now, if you do what's called exclusive, you can't play any games that compete with Farming Simulator if you're an exclusive partner, and that's totally optional. And you now get 5%. So I know,
Okay.
like, so you can. I'm an exclusive partner because on my farming channel, I'm not gonna play anything else. I don't
Yeah.
ever plan to play anything else.
Yeah,
That's why I
me
got
either.
Gamer Cop, because I play everything else that's not Farming Simulator there, which I have played games on there that would compete with Giants, theoretically speaking.
Right.
So I've played other farming games on there, but None of them even compare to Giants, though. I mean, let's be real. Farming
Yeah,
Simulator is way better.
CJ
So,
Farms is like Farming Simulator 19 exclusive. That's it. There's nothing else. I've thought about doing other stuff like Pure Farming 2018. There was another one, Fantasy something. I can't remember what it is, but
yeah, what's the one Stacy was talking about?
that is Ranch Simulator.
Ranch Simulator.
Yeah, that one's a cool
oh
one
yeah,
too. But
I played that one on GamerCop for a little bit. That one,
that
for
was pretty
whatever
cool.
reason, I loved it, but for whatever reason, that game, the way it was, I don't know if it was the camera, but if I played it for more than an hour, I had a headache every single time.
Really?
I've only had that with a couple of games, and that one, I can stare at my screen and play Farming Simulator for 12 hours and not have a headache, but I can't play
Right.
that game for more than an hour.
Oh man, I tell people all the time, man, I could farm all night on Farm Sim. I could
yeah.
literally just plow fields, fertilize, plant, harvest.
Yep.
I mean, one of my favorite things to do on Farm Sim is to harvest a field full of corn. I absolutely just, I don't know what it is, but
Yeah.
I love driving the harvesters. I just love it, man. You know, and a lot of that, you know, as Christians, you know, the harvest of God's people has a lot to do with that, with me driving that harvester, you know. So my dad, for those that don't know, my dad has been an ordained evangelist for many, many years, and drilled the word of God into my head as a kid. And I'm not complaining, because, you know, I'm glad that he did that. You know, it's branded in you. Once you know that it's branded, man, you can never, ever get rid of that. But what I was saying is I love the harvesting part of Farm Sim, and I love it. I really do.
For me, I think, honestly, and I don't know what it is. I love games that are like this. My favorite way to play Farm Sim is to start with absolutely nothing and try to build something out of it. And like,
That's the hardest way too.
I mean, if you look at my series, it's like No Man's Land. I started with nothing, built it up. Willamina Forest. I started on a forestry map with nothing and built it into a farm. I'm doing that's what I did on Griffin, Indiana. I'm still doing. We're still.
Yeah.
I mean, it's okay. We do all right, but and then on Klein's Land, which I just started, I started with very little money. So I love being able to do that and kind of being able to manage the business aspect of it is what I really enjoy.
Mhm.
And there's
completely
something
opposite.
for me, just in general, there's something I've thought about, like probably my second, if I had to choose, like, job wise, like what I would have done, I think farmer would be number 2 to cop. Like, I think it was like police officer. Like, something's fascinating about being able to grow something and just turn a profit off of the land, just doing that.
Right,
It just
yeah.
fascinates me. I have no idea why. It just seems super, super cool. But yeah.
Yeah, it
See
is
me?
fascinating.
I'm going into the I&I and I'm dropping nines all the way across the money part of the I&I. When I start farm, give me $999 million, and I'm just building, like, I'm buying all the land in the map. It all belongs to me. It's all mine. I'm driving around there like God, like the
I can tell you how
president
to do
of
that
America.
without using money. If you install easy
Yeah.
development commands
Yep.
that has a mod in there that allows you to buy all farmland for free.
You just have to
Really?
click one. You just click one button, and it'll buy the whole map for you.
One button buys the entire map.
Jesus.
Yeah. I
I
love
gotta
my
get
easy
back
development
into it.
commands,
I
man. I
gotta get
love
back
it,
into
man.
it. I'm actually in the process of selling my my heavy equipment bundle. I have the heavy equipment bundle that I have it listed. Nobody's attempted to buy it yet, but
You talking about the steering wheel and the?
yeah,
Wait a minute,
the
how much you
farming
asking
simulator.
for it? Is it brand new?
Yeah, damn near. I mean, it's
How
got
much you
about.
asking for it?
I mean, it was like 200, which it still goes for, like, what does it still go for? Maybe $275, $300 for it. I don't know. I could be wrong, but I know I looked it up how much they are brand new, and I put into account that it is used, but I think there's maybe a total of 4 hours used on this wheel and on the whole setup. But
Yeah.
ever since I got the G 28 298, whatever it is, with the clutch and the H shifter and all that, that's been my thing now, man. I love it.
There's nothing like driving a tractor on Farm Sim with that steering wheel,
With the
with that
ball
little
on it
ball
too,
on
right?
it, man,
Yeah,
and
that
using
ball.
that handle, man, to lift those buckets. I love it, man. It's like he said, man. There's something fascinating about growing crops and watching them progress, and especially when you're putting down three. What is it? Three? I think 4 stakes of fertilizer, one before, one right after planting, and then like a few in between. And when my grow corn, man, it's so golden brown. It's
See,
just
for
so
me, it's
golden
like
brown.
building the farm
Mhm.
for me.
feel like
It's
I love that aspect too, where you build it the way you want, especially with landscaping and
yes.
everything. Yeah.
Yep. You got your tractors, you got your sheds where they got to be. Everything is organized. All the buildings are lined up. You got your gravel where the gravel goes, and it's like, well, you know what? This would probably be a dirt road right here, so you put in a dirt
Mhm.
road right there.
Yeah.
But yeah, man, I like building more than I do farming.
That's one of the best things about Farming Simulator
Yeah.
19, man. You can play it the way you want. It's one of the best things
Exactly.
about it. So,
Yeah.
and you had a good series going. I know that you had stopped doing it for a while, Jeffrey, but I remember your series where you cut down all them trees and you built a, what was it, a tow truck yard? You had a big tow truck yard back there, man. It was really amazing, the tow truck yard you had, man. It was really awesome.
Yeah,
You guys remember back when we were
it
doing
was
those
the coach.
repo series? You guys
I
remember that?
remember that, the
We did
Repo
like
series
one
we did.
episode and we
Yeah.
didn't do anything else.
We
That
need
was
to
fun
do
as
another
hell,
one,
too.
man. We need to do another because you got to have like the tow truck, the tow hook.
Yeah.
Then you got to have like some tow truck mods, which don't take up much space. They don't have that much damper on your game, but
Yeah.
man, it was fun. Man, we had that rollback. We had that roll off the rollback truck that went up and come down like this, and we put the car on it, and it was fun, man. We had a blast that day.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was a lot of
really
fun.
I don't
fun.
mean to brag too much, but this is my steering setup I have.
Oh,
These-
looky there.
I use these guys right here. They're nice and red. That's what I use. The classic WASD. So
Do you?
that's right.
I don't
I don't
blame
have
you. I use
I
the
don't have
same
a
thing.
steering wheel. So, oh, that keyboard
Alright.
looks legit. I got to get one of those. But
Yeah, it's a Red
That
Dragon.
looks
I like
awesome.
it.
All right,
Is there a
all
Red
right.
Dragon?
Yeah, it's Red Dragon.
That's
Yeah,
awesome.
I have the Razor. See my Razor?
Oh, nice. Yeah, yeah.
And then I've got my two, and now I'm bragging. I've got two Stream Decks here, and this is really cool because it has a little magnet here thing that clips on where you can rest your hands. See, so it's like a,
I like that.
but yeah, it's pretty cool though, man. I do use keyboard and mouse for Pharma Sim depending on what I'm doing on the game.
Right.
But mostly I am using this bad boy right here. That's what I use.
Nice.
Now some mods I will use the
that.
keyboard, but huh?
A lot of people like to use the game controllers to drive on there and stuff.
Oh yeah, but
pretty
a
common.
lot now for certain mods, I will use my keyboard for like that dash time I was telling you about. You just hold a key down, man, and the clock literally just spins. So I'll send it to you. On I think it might be in your mod hub though, but I'll send you the link for it just in case.
Sweet.
Yeah,
That's
it's a cool mod, man. Because I know you use that speed time a lot in
Yeah.
your tutorials for to speed up time and all that. And I'm gonna be honest with you, man. When I do it like my global company tutorials, I watch yours. Right, I will watch yours to make sure I have everything right. And global mods are really tough. They're really tough to learn because there's so much to them and there's so many of them. So when the first one I just done was on the basic global company base mod and then the global company icons, I show people how to cut the bells and extended placeables and all that. The info thingy that shows info on your crates and all that. And then the next one I'm going to do, like I said, I'm watching your tutorial and then I'm going and I'm doing kind of like my own version of it, but I am learning completely from you, man.
And it's funny you say that, like watching others. So like for me, when I do my tutorials, because I want to make sure I have everything in there. And part of the things I think about when I do a tutorial now after, and I haven't accomplished this on all of them. Some of my early ones were a little rough, but as like now my goal every time I do a tutorial is I want to keep it as short as possible. And I want to have all the information in there and I want it to be easy to understand and follow. So it's like trying to make that happen. And so that's usually and so when I do my tutorials, I'm usually typing out stuff. I have a whole thing. I don't script it per se, but I have so many different bullet points about, okay, I need to make sure I hit this stuff in this order to talk about everything or I'll forget. Because I've seen some people that do tutorials where they just pull it up and they just ramble for 30 minutes and you figure out how to use it by the end, but it's not organized. And it's it's just, and I don't want people to be frustrated by the end of my video. So,
Yeah.
Right.
But, and I do, when I got into it, since I got into YouTubing well after Farming Simulator 19 had been out, there was tutorials for most of the basic stuff. So like, even like when I did stuff like that, like I would go watch 5 or 6 tutorials and I would pick up different pieces from every one of them that I was like, oh, that's a good point that I know the other person's didn't meet. And I would take all of this knowledge plus my own personal experience and then I would test it all out to make sure it all still worked because there's updates and stuff with mods and stuff like that. And
Yeah,
then after I
absolutely.
put all that together, so and a lot of people I don't feel like realize like for me to put together like a 8 to 10 minute tutorial, it might take me 3 or 4 hours just to make sure
Right, right.
I get it all the way I want it. So
Yeah, because they don't see behind. That's why I tell people there's so much more to being a YouTuber and content creator than just sitting down
Oh yeah.
and hitting the record button and playing a video game, especially when you're doing tutorials. There's editing that comes with it. You know, the time it takes to edit your video, to export it, and then to upload it to YouTube. You got to make your thumbnail. It just takes a lot of time, and just the thought process alone of how you're going to do it and what you're going to do. Just takes a lot of time, man. So there's a lot to it.
Like when I was doing my No Man's Land series season 1, season 2 has still been pretty time consuming, but season 1, by the end of season 1, every episode took me, I mean, it took me anywhere from, on a good day, it would take me only 8 hours to put an episode together. Versus it
Wow.
might take me more than that because on those ones I was doing like some police role play, mixing it in with farming, and then I was adding so much stuff to the town as we progressed that like one episode I might spend 2 hours just landscaping and adding stuff to the town the way I want it to add that portion of it. And then I might spend 2 or 3 hours farming off camera to get stuff done and only showing tidbits of it. And then I might take an hour to set up all the police roleplay stuff and time to record it, edit it all together. So it just takes a lot of time. But
yeah, it really does. It really does.
Yeah.
What kind of editor do you use?
I use Adobe Premiere Pro. That's what I use.
Nice. Adobe has very nice stuff.
Yeah. Now, when I started out, and I probably don't even use it anywhere close to the abilities that it has. But when I first started out, I used Shotcut, which was okay. It was very easy to use, but I will say with Shotcut, the only thing I didn't like, it's free software. Adobe cost me, I think for the package that I pay for, it's like $30 a month, but which for me, it's worth it at this point. But when I was using Shotcut, it would randomly crash, so you had to be careful. And it was easy to put stuff together on there, but it usually would take to render a 1 hour video, it took it about 10 hours. And
oh my god!
And it wasn't. And I was like, wow, my computer must just really suck. But then once
That
I
is
got
torture,
Adobe,
man.
Adobe would be like rendering the video in 45 minutes, and I'd be like, okay, well, clearly that's the problem. Then.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's man, rendering is a long
so
time.
I would get it all edited, and then I would let it start rendering while I went to sleep. I'm like, all right, well, I'll deal with that tomorrow, and then I'll upload it and everything like that.
Yeah, that was actually the first editing software that I used, and I got Filmora 9 is what I use now currently. And that's exactly like what you said. The issue is like you can be editing like a 1 hour video, you get towards the end, then you drag and drop this one piece, and then it freezes and then closes on you, and you lose all of it, and you know, it gets frustrating after a while.
Yeah, I use CyberLink Power Director 17. I've been using it since the day I started doing YouTube, and I love it. I'm about to upgrade to CyberLink Power Director 365, which is like a yearly or a monthly rate, I think it is. But the thing about it is, it's almost like the same type of editor, but it's more advanced. It's a more advanced editor, so it's upgraded.
That way you don't have to learn a whole new interface too.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
that's for me. It took me so long just to learn how to use Adobe. That's
right.
I would struggle to make a transition at this point.
Yeah.
Do y'all watch FS Club? Are you subscribed to that channel?
I do. I watch it.
FS Club. Okay.
I don't watch it as much as I should probably, but there's
Would love
so
to
many
get them guys on here.
there, and what I need, if you guys could all, instead of super chat money, if you could super chat time, that'd be great. I just need more of that to watch everything. But
he needs more of that. He needs more of that. You could super chat me money. I don't need the time. Just joking. No, I'm just joking.
Did somebody ask about FS Club?
No. I was just, we like to raid, and I was just saying.
Oh man, it'd be cool to get them guys on here, man.
We can raid them. You want to go on a raid, or let's do a raid?
Yeah, let's raid FS Club. Are they're live right now?
Yeah, they're live right now. I will go ahead and drop their link in.
I got my J.
Oh, there they are.
Oh, you guys got your own links then?
I got mine, yeah.
Yeah, I got it, Jeffrey.
All right. So we'll do a Meet the Gamers raid.
All right, guys, going to drop the link here. MTG raid, ladies and gentlemen. There it is. Let's go do an MTG raid real quick. Yeah, I've been watching this guy for a very long time. He just tipped his tractor. Oh, he's stuck on the side of a bridge.
I was gonna say something, but I'm gonna be good.
Perfect.
Queen knows what I was thinking.
How does that even
probably.
happen?
Screwed. Yep.
Have you ever felt
Oh, I
like your
love
life
it.
has just turned you sideways?
That's me.
You know, it's gonna be
Yeah.
it's gonna be a little hard
Oh gosh, bring back
for
bad
us to
memories.
do a
What would you
raid
do?
because
Seriously?
if you're not
Slow-mo.
subbed
You know
to
what I mean?
him,
Like,
no, if you're not subbed to him, he's only got
Yeah.
subscribers only mode on.
Oh well, crap.
Well,
Either-
everybody sub to him.
There you go. I just
Yeah,
did.
but even if you stub, it'll make you wait like 5 or 10 minutes.
And it says
Oh,
1
got
minute.
that.
Yeah.
Good job, Diesel.
All right. All right. Well, sorry, Farming Simulator Club. You
Yeah,
missed
there
out.
you go. That's exactly
You guys
what
see his
I'm doing.
background? Did you catch his background? He had like the Captain America shield
I
back
see it,
there. It was
yeah.
all Marvel
Yeah.
All right, y'all. All
memorabilia.
right, y'all. Don't raid him. Don't raid him. Don't worry about it. We'll find somebody else. Y'all got anybody on?
Let me see if anybody's on right now. Let me go. Let's see
The only other person I
who's.
got is the Northern Raydaz.
Hey, let's raid
I'm gonna
the
run to the
Who.
bathroom real quick. I'm gonna go into intermission screen real quick on my channel. I'll be right back.
You're not cool.
All right, brother.
All right, man.
All right.
I tell you, who is it here?
Hey, what's up,
Har-
hero?
We could raid Harv's World. He's another farm sim guy I watch. He's got a little over 3,000 subs, man. He's got a lot of good stuff. He's live right now. Let's go. Y'all want to raid him?
Yeah, you want to drop his link in my channel?
Yeah, I got you, man.
Yeah.
All right, y'all. So we're gonna
do
go
mine
do a
too.
Meet the Gamers raid with this link that CJ is gonna drop.
What's it
So
called?
what I want y'all to do is go in there and spam the hell out of that channel. Spam it, spam it, spam it. Bam.
There it is, guys. Oh, I can't drop it in Farmer Cot's chat. I'm not a.
Yeah.
Oh, a mod.
Yeah, I'm not a mod. I can drop it in.
There it is.
Oh, I dropped.
Everybody-
I dropped his own link in his chat. Jeez, I didn't mean to do that. Let me.
Whoops.
Let me remove my message. Come on.
What's the guy's name, CJ?
Why won't it let me drop it? I mean, delete it. Oh, well, let me delete it.
All right, there's the link right
there.
there, y'all. Hit that link. Meet the Gamers raid. Go ahead and do a Meet the Gamers raid. I see some of Farmer Cop's people going in there. Farmer Cop raid. Some of Farmer Cop's people. There we go.
There we go.
Okay,
There we
now
go.
I understand.
All right.
Honest Newalls, that's right. Fade Fun, how you doing, man? Welcome to Harvest World.
There we
Where
go.
we're at,
Spam
we
it up.
just,
Look
we
at
just-
There we go.
Gamertron. Look at everybody raid.
Guys, how you doing? Everybody's
Look at there.
Cop is rating me. Wow, outstanding.
Who'd you guys go
Thanks,
to?
guys. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Harv's World.
Harv's World.
The Wolf 1234. Welcome to Harvest World, man. Very much.
Don't forget to
appreciated.
hit that like button, y'all.
Farmer Cop has a great channel. I'm glad everybody's watching him. RXYT,
Oh, great.
very nice.
Love it.
Jeffrey Gamer. I'm trying to get everybody, man. You guys are racing it by. Gamertron 8009. Fade Fun. Zeke and Streak, how you doing, man? Zeke is a regular who drops in from time to time.
Zeke and Steak. Oh, Zeke
Man,
and
it
Streak.
is.
Gaming with Cookie.
Zeke and Streak.
Oh, Meet the Gamers.
I said
is,
Zeke and
apparently rating
Steak.
us at the same
Jesus
time.
Christ.
Criminal
Did you?
Justice.
You said Zeke and
The interview you wanted to do, I still don't have a camera though. Sorry, man. Drake Sullivan.
Love it.
Zeke and
Yeah, he was
Streak
supposed to be on Meet the
999.
Gamers. I invited him to Meet the Gamers, but he doesn't have a webcam.
Zeke. Zeke said,
Yeah.
almost to farm. He had a really good one too.
I appreciate you guys going over there and rating
Yes.
Harv's World. Yeah, he live streams on a regular basis, and he does. I think he does all Farmer Simulator related content, all of it. Everything he does is Farmer Sim.
Cole
Nice.
Stillings.
So yeah, he's got close to
Jason Donnelly.
4,000 subscribers. I think is what it
Outstanding,
said.
guys. Thank you so
4,000.
much.
Yeah,
If you,
3.21.
yeah,
Okay.
Yep.
talk to
You,
Farmer Cop,
YouTube
let
is
her
just
thank you
one of
very
those
much.
things, man. It's tough,
Gonna have to return
and
it.
it just takes a lot of time and a lot of work, man. It just really does.
But it's rewarding, man.
It
Like, the
is.
feeling you
It
get when you
is.
you set goals and you set milestones. I think everything in life is
Hey,
goal
Hero, how's it
driven,
going, man?
right? Whether it's your house or your YouTube channel or your job, everything is just goal driven. And when you set them goals to hit 1,000 subs, and when you hit that 1,000, man, there's no other feeling like it out there, man. And then
Mhm.
my next goal is 5,000. So if I can hit 5K, you know, it's just gonna be amazing. Who's the
Yeah.
cutie in the upper right and bottom right?
Hey, Justin,
Oh, that's Criminal
how's it
Justice and
going,
Jeffrey
man?
Gamer. They are pretty
How's it
cute,
going,
right?
Justin?
Who
Appreciate that
said
sub, man.
that?
Avion.
Appreciate that
Avion is
sub,
up
man.
in the chat. What's
Oh,
going
is he
on,
up in the
Avion?
chat?
Yeah, what's up, dude?
He said he was updating that Blaine County Sheriff's Office mega pack. He said he was updating it. So the
Oh, really?
DLC. Yeah. Did you check out that DLC I sent you, man?
I did not. I see. I'm
Oh
not a
my
huge
god,
fan
dude,
of
you're gonna love the lights,
DLCs.
man. I'm telling you, you got a game
I'll check it
config. You
out.
got the game config in.
I did. I did get the updated game config. Yep.
All right. You got the pack file and the heap adjuster and all that.
Yep.
All right.
Oh, he says it's also replaced. See, I'm all about the replace because I
See,
like my
I
backup
like a
unit
good
to-
replace pack too, but that's the good thing about DLCs because you can have a replace pack for like when you want to call backup, you got the replace vehicles there and you got a nice car pack in there. But when you have those DLCs, man, that's extra cars. So many more extra cars you can have in your
True.
game, and I love it, man. I love it.
True.
That makes 1, 2. That's 3 DLCs that I have in my LSP for. I've got the Blue Ghost pack, the Plain County Sheriff's Office mega pack, and then now the Toronto pack, which was
That
referred
Blue
to me by
Ghost, man.
Six Film. Six Film sent it to me, and I told him I'd used the pack before, but he said they updated it, and I was like, dude, I said send it to me because I seen it on his Instagram. So I put it in my game, man. Them lights they're just really nice, man.
Pop and sang.
Yeah, it's got them, it's got them lights in the light bar that turn like this, right?
The rotary.
Oh, nice.
Oh yeah, but it's got the real reflective rotaries. Yeah, man, they're really
wow.
beautiful. They're really beautiful, man.
Tell CJ he can edit the alternate backup to make AI spawn DLC cars. What?
What?
I
Who
was
said
not
that?
aware of that. Avion said that you could. Hey, hashtag up in the house. What's up, brother?
It must be in the XML.
He said, tell CJ he can edit the ultimate backup to make AI spawn DLC cars.
Oh, he's got me wondering about that now. I'm gonna
Yeah,
have to go in
me,
my
yeah,
file.
you should.
Yeah.
Yeah, me too.
I'm about to go in my file here and look and see
What's
what
your
I think
favorite? What's your favorite cruiser to drive,
Yeah, great question.
Farmer Cop?
What's
Oh,
that?
there you go.
Your
Sorry, I
favorite
was
cruiser?
reading chat. My favorite cruiser? Oh,
Yeah.
Ford Explorer. Ford Interceptor. Sorry. Someone in my chat will get mad at me if I call it an Explorer. It's technically an Interceptor, but it's the same car. They'll get mad at me though. Frank Sinatra in my chat's about to lose his mind.
The FPIU.
But yeah, so I work for a city, so we use fleet vehicles, but I drive the same Interceptor every day. But no, I love the SUV. Those things handle super well, so I can be
And
going.
they're turbocharged, so they're really the Interceptor versions
Yeah.
are. I work for a college, and we have peace officers, the public safety department, who are peace officers, and their fleet are the Dodge Chargers and the FPIUs, the Ford Interceptors, and man, those things are turbocharged and they haul ass. They are
Yeah.
quick, man.
Yep. Ours, and yeah, once you get them ours go into a pursuit mode, which is standard. Once they go into that pursuit mode where they just have an immediate response. If you touch that pedal, you go
Yep.
quick and you just jump. But no, they're pretty sweet. I've gotten them. What's my top speed? Probably 120 or so.
Oh.
But
That's still pretty fast. 120 is
Yeah.
pretty fast.
and that's me in a city. So
My Toyota has
Oh
a governor.
wow.
I hit 120, it drops me down to 114, damn it.
Does it?
Yeah, it does. It does.
I see
Yeah.
what Avion's talking about. I think it's in the ultimate backup.xml file under default
Yeah,
regions.
the agency XML.
Yeah, the agency.
Yeah.
Oh, the agency XML. Okay. I do
Money.
not see.
Rusty Money over my chat saying he's got his 2018 Dodge Ram Patrol pickup and he loves it.
Oh, that
I'm
sounds
I'm a little
nice.
jealous. That would be a pretty sweet car.
That
Dodge
sounds
Ram.
nice.
I mean, he's talking. What are you talking? You either got the He's probably got the 5.7 liter.
Oh, he probably
Indeed,
does.
Dodge
Yeah,
Ram.
that's a great question. Rusty, what kind of engine that thing got under it?
It's
Yeah,
either the
good
5.
question.
It's
Good
like that
question.
5.7.
Yeah.
I wonder if it's a Hemi. It might be a Hemi.
Yeah.
It's
Well, yeah, it
definitely
would be.
It's
Yeah.
definitely a Hemi. It's either the 5.7 Hemi or it could be the 6.4, which is a lot faster. But yeah, the 5.7s are Hemis too. Avion coming through with a $5 super sticker of a hip. Is that a hippo? That's a hippo running really fast. Avion, I appreciate that $5 super sticker, brother. He makes some good stuff, man. Avion makes some really solid
He does.
stuff.
Yeah, he does. Yeah, I first found out about him with the Blaine County Sheriff's Office Mega Pack when I found that.
Yep.
And I put the pack in my game, and I literally went to the airport. Like, I go to the airport every time I install a pack. I will go to either the LSIA or I will go to the Blaine County Airport, and I will go to the airport and spawn every vehicle in
And
that
line
pack.
them up. I
And
remember you
I'll
did
line
that
them
with-
up, and I'll take a screenshot sometimes. Most time I'm getting in them, turning the lights on, and seeing what they look like. A big thing for me is when I get in those cars is the hands on the wheel, that they're placed good on the wheel, and there's a nice partition in the back.
Yeah.
And Avion always manages to do that, man. He's always got good. His packs are always like that. So got some good stuff, man. And Ripple,
Yeah.
the pack that we installed, made by Ripple, the San Andreas Highway Patrol Code 3
Oh, I like
pack.
that pack. I like that.
Yeah, that you can put the Fresno skins on.
Mhm.
Hands on the wheel, man. Ripple does hands on the wheel. I love that. I
Yeah,
can't stand to
Ripple-
get in a
Ripple does
car,
good
man,
stuff.
and the hands are like down in the wheel, or they're like up here on your wrist or up here, you know.
Yeah.
You know, but yeah, I'm a big person when it comes to hands
Big
on the
G
wheel.
makes some good stuff too,
He
man.
does. Big G makes some awesome stuff. That state, what is that? That Code 3 state trooper pack that he has?
No, it's a police pack with the emergency blue lights in the window. The writing
Yes, the one that says
says
emergency
move
in it.
over. Yeah, move
Yeah,
over. It's the
man,
law.
that's
That's
a
his
nice
code 3
pack.
pack.
That's a nice pack.
Rusty Money says his favorite back in the day was the 2003 Dodge Intrepid. He
Oh,
said
the
that thing.
Intrepids.
Oh
that thing
wow,
used
an
to fly
Intrepid.
back in the day.
He's
I remember my
he's aging
coworkers would
himself there.
talk about all the Crown Vics back in the day. They get an emergency call and they'd all be burning out, getting out of the garages to go to the call. Yeah. Oh, I love it. Yeah.
I've always heard the Crown Vics handle pretty nicely. They always handle really good, is what I've heard.
Yeah, until you get on any snow or ice, then they're terrible.
Oh, I
rear
would
wheel,
imagine.
well,
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
rear wheel, right?
The
Well, they
rear
got
wheel
what?
drive,
Like they carry what? They got what under the hood? The 302 Boss? Is it a 302?
I don't. I don't know. We've gotten rid of all of ours, but I don't know what they had on.
What do you guys mostly drive now? Like the Dodge Charger, the FPIUs, the
We have because we get snow where I'm at. We have our entire fleet except for we have one sedan, but our entire fleet is the Interceptors.
Oh, okay, I
We got
got
a
you.
bunch of those, but
Yeah,
What's the sedan you have? Is it the Taurus or?
yep, it's the Taurus. Which
those
it's
are
all-wheel
nice.
drive. It's all-wheel drive, so it does really good in the wintertime as well. It's just I'm not a big person, but when I get in there, I seriously am so wedged in that car that I have to kind of roll sideways to get out of the car on anything. So I hate driving it. So we only have and officers that it works for, they love it. So we only have 2 officers in our whole department that drive it, and they love it because no one else touches their car.
Right.
Because
right.
no one else wants that piece of junk, in my
Yeah,
opinion.
that compact car. Yeah,
But
you.
I will say this: that thing, if I have had to hop in it, I'm like, oh, we got an emergency call, and that's the only car I'll hop in it real quick. And I've gone code in that thing, and I tell you, that thing drives. You can go very fast, very quickly in that thing, and it does very well. It's very, very maneuverable. But
Yeah, those
yeah.
Tauruses. You know, Marcus says they have the Tahoe and the Crown Vic in Daytona Beach.
Oh, the Tahoes, those are nice. Those are supposed to, and I've heard this is alleged. I don't know if this is true or not. I've heard that the Tahoes have better pursuit ratings than the Interceptors. The police
Officer
is
Ethan from my
crazy.
chat said, wanted to know, Farmer Cop, if any lights have ever hurt your eyes or sirens hurt your ears while on duty.
That's a good question.
Nope. I don't know.
No.
You get used to it, and then we have so the LEDs are super bright. They're super bright because we have LED
Right.
light bars. But when we're working at night or when it starts to get night out, there's a dim button, so it actually turns the power to about half, which is plenty bright for at
Okay.
night, but it makes it so you're not blinding people at night. Because if we're going to an emergency call, normally there'll be 3 or 4 of us in a line going to an emergency call. And if the guys in front of you don't have their low power on for their LEDs, they'll absolutely blind you and you can't see anything. So we'll be on the radio like, hey, low power, everyone low power.
Right, right. Yeah,
Yeah.
because those things are designed, right? I don't know if I'm not mistaken. They're designed to, like, the further
Hey,
away
Fade
you
Fun,
are, the brighter they
Nicholas,
get,
Captain
right?
Brock, how's it going, guys?
Like, is that how they're designed?
They're I'm not sure how they're designed. I haven't looked too much into it. For me, it's not, but they are pretty bright. That is true, actually. Now that I'm thinking of it, it's like you see cars from further distances, and it's like, yeah, they do look brighter from a distance, and they look like they take up more space. But yeah, it's interesting. And I know that like so I work for a city, so we have external light bars. So our light bars go across the top of our car, but our county units for the county that where I'm at, they have all of their lights are inside of the vehicle. So sometimes they have issues with that night. Their LEDs up in the windshield will bounce back and kind of have a little bit of glare at times.
See, that would
So they've
drive
had
me
to do some
crazy.
different stuff to mitigate
That
that. But
yeah, that would drive me crazy.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. But I didn't know that, though. I didn't know they had the
Not
half
tonight there,
power
Nicholas, not
switch.
tonight,
That's
man.
pretty cool.
Yeah.
I didn't know that, man.
Yep.
Because,
Yep,
you know,
very
you'd
nice.
swear when you're driving down the road at night. I mean, them things were like, they're just so bright,
Oh,
man.
yeah. Oh yeah.
They're so bright. But yeah, I didn't. So during the day, they cut the power up on them, right? So they get they're glimming out there.
Yep.
That's pretty cool. I didn't know that. Learn something new every day.
Yeah, right.
Yep. No, it's pretty cool. And a
Do
lot
you
of people
ever-
don't know this either. I think the magical speed is 88 miles per hour. If you're driving 88 miles per hour and you have your siren on, people will not register the fact that you're coming with your siren on before you get to them. If you're going faster than 88, that's the magical. They've done studies where people will not understand there's a siren coming, so they won't hear it. Though sound travels fast, they won't necessarily hear it and be able to process mentally that you're coming up on them until you're there. If you're going faster than 88.
Right, right.
Jeez.
So that's where they talk about
Wow.
like outrunning your siren. That's about 88 miles an hour.
Oh,
But-
wow.
Wow.
See, that's why Marty. That's why they had to get the DeLorean up to what wasn't it? Wasn't it 88 miles an hour?
Yeah. Yeah.
Serious,
I knew
wasn't it 88?
it was 88. Yeah. To get it to
was.
travel through time, he had to get to 88 miles an hour
88
for
miles
the
an
for the
hour.
plutonium to kick in.
Yeah, it all makes sense. Have you ever had to wipe out the previous officer's history on the laptops, or do you have those cars where you all have your own laptop that you snap into place
So
inside the car?
in my car, which I actually, now that our keyboards used to suck, but they changed it. So we actually have tablets. So we have a tablet up and then the keyboard is a separate unit. So it makes it so I can adjust it a lot more and it takes up way less space in my car and I have just as big of a screen. So we have it's like a flat screen tablet and then we have our keyboard, which is its own separate unit. And that works way better. So we don't have it and we just log off and log on. So if I get in the car and another officer's logged in, I'll just log them off and then I'll restart the computer and log in. And that's all I really have to do for that.
Now, do y'all surf the internet when you're just parked stationary?
We do that a lot at the station, that's for sure. But out and about, sometimes I'll be like, I wonder, I'll be thinking about dinner. I'll be like, I wonder what time this restaurant closes. And I'll be Googling that real quick. Or if they dispatch me, because we don't have, where I work, as part of our field training, we are required, and it's a fairly large city I work in, to be fair. We are required, in order to pass field training, we have to have every street in the city memorized. So
Holy
we have to know, we have to have everyone memorized, which is hundreds. So we have to have them memorized. So when I was on field training, and it's still for the most part today, sometimes there's streets that I forget about because I don't ever go there. But we have to have every street memorized, so that way, if we get a call, we know exactly where we're going. So that was just something for us. So we don't have any maps in our car or any GPSs to help us get there. We have to just know where we're going.
Wow.
Wow.
So you have to, but I sometimes will, on my computer, I'll look up Google Maps and I'll be like, oh, let me just type this address in, even if it's an emergency call, because one of my FTOs told me this and it's very true. It's better to drive code and know where you're going versus drive code and not know where you're going. And it's better to take 15 seconds to figure out where you're going first, as opposed to spend 2 minutes driving code nowhere trying to figure out where you're going. So
Yeah,
sometimes
exactly.
I'll look up the
True.
address, but yeah. So sometimes I'll do that just to figure out where I'm going. But
Could you
in general,
imagine going code 3 and having your car telling you, turn right in a quarter mile, turn left.
it's like, oh, well, in the time that it told me that, I already passed the quarter mile. I'm like,
Yeah.
U-turn, shots fired.
But I have seen
Oh, man.
some agencies that have probably more money, but there's some agencies that, and like our county units have GPS because our county has so many cities in it. So like our county units, they have GPS in their cars that'll tell them where they're going, but they have to enter the address manually every time if they want to get somewhere. But I know that some agencies, and I don't know any in Washington per se, but I know in some other areas they'll have GPS in the car that's tied into dispatch. So if you call en route to a call, it'll put it up on your GPS automatically and give you directions.
Oh, that's
But
cool.
so those ones are cool. Like those systems are great. But I mean, as much as it is kind of a tricky thing at some points, one of my favorite parts of, or one of the things that's actually a really something that I don't have to worry about when I or think about when I'm responding to an emergency call is where I'm going, because I know where I'm going. So like that's one thing that I like about that is having everything memorized, is because I don't have to think about it. It's like I get a call and I just focus on the call and driving because I know where I'm going. But that part at least.
Yeah,
is done.
I mean, because your attention has to be on that road. I mean,
Yeah.
because not everybody has enough common sense to move out of the way when they see blue lights and hear sirens. They just don't have the common. I've seen people stop in the middle of the road. I've seen people, I mean, just pull over,
it.
and let them through, man. It's that simple. Like when I see blue lights or I hear sirens, I can hear it down the road, and even if they're coming my way or not, I will pull over just in case they're coming that way. You just never know, man.
Yeah.
I have a question. It's something that I always wondered, the meaning behind the rumbler sirens. From what I heard, that was for deaf people who might not be able to hear the sirens, but the rumble sirens let out a feeling, a wave of vibration, a vibration wave that deaf people might get. Is that true?
So I haven't. That does actually that makes sense. The reason I've heard is because, and I believe this from what I do, is that people don't pay attention. So if they have their music blasting, they'll feel their car vibrating now, as opposed to just because if they have their music, because I'll be honest with you, there's so many times it probably happens to me at least once a week where I turn on my lights to make a traffic stop and they just keep driving because they're not the people are just totally oblivious to what's going on around them. And
Yeah.
they'll just keep driving, and then after I give them usually about half a mile, and I'm like, all right, well, I've already got another unit coming my way because they're not stopping. And then I'll start activating my siren. And then sometimes when I activate my siren, they might pull over because like, oh, there's a cop behind me, I didn't know, or I'm getting pulled over. But people are just so oblivious to what's going on. So anything I can use to get their attention is great. I don't have my agency doesn't have the rumbler sirens, but I would love them. But
See, I'm so alert.
Yeah.
I know when there's a cop behind me before they even think of pulling me over.
Yeah.
It's just like,
Yeah, same here.
you just
Yep.
and even when I first got my license, I was able to pinpoint police headlights, in my mirror.
Yeah.
Even now, I know
Yeah.
when it's a cop coming up behind me because I know what a Dodge Charger front
Yeah.
end at night looks like, or a Ford Explorer, because we have the Explorers, Chargers, and we have the Tauruses here in New York State. So
Yep.
I know those headlights when they come up
Yep.
behind me.
Yep.
Well, now you
Well-
get kind of tricked too because some of the civilian Ford Explorers have the same headlights. So I'll get tricked out by them sometimes because sometimes I'm like, oh, wait a second, is that a cop or is that not a cop?
Yeah.
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 Even when I'm on duty, I'm like, is that a cop or is that not a cop? I'm like, I know who that is.
Well,
Yeah.
when you're driving, man, if you're aware of what's going on around you, which everybody should be when they're behind the wheel, it's not, one of the things that my mom and dad taught me about driving when I first started driving was you always have to look out for other drivers. That's who you want to look out for. And you always want to think ahead. So when you're going down the road, you want to think ahead. You want to stay at least 2 car distances away from the car in front of you. And I'm telling you, man, when you're out there behind the wheel, just be aware of what's going on you, because it's guys like these that are coming down the street code 3, going to a call where somebody might have been stabbed, somebody might have been shot, or they're going to some kind of emergency call, and you've got your earbuds in and going down the road. And I've seen people do it with earbuds in, which is stupid. Like,
Also
why would you have
illegal.
earbuds in?
Yeah, it's illegal
Get
here,
over,
too.
because these guys have their lights on because they need to get through for a reason, So pay attention, guys. Pay attention on the road. Don't have earbuds in, and especially don't be doing this on the road. You know what I'm saying? On your phone.
Yeah.
And when I get in my truck, man, my phone goes down, it's locked, and I never get on it, man.
Yep.
So I do have a little thing on my dash that my phone sits in. So if I'm doing like a vlog, I can hit the record button and then I go and I will talk to my audience. But other than that, to upload it,
Yeah.
I will be stopped and in park before
Yeah.
I start uploading my videos. So,
Yeah.
but yeah,
Yeah, see,
man.
I have people ask me, they're like, oh gosh, this idiot did this thing in front of me the other day. It's like only if there was a cop to see it. And I'm like, trust me, people do dumb stuff like that in front of my marked patrol car every time I go to work. So
Right.
I've had one guy. I had one guy the one time I was trying to stop a car because they literally pulled right out in front of me. I had to curb my patrol car in order to avoid hitting them. So I
Oh,
hopped out onto
wow.
the sidewalk, then I went back onto the road to stop them. And then I was trying to stop that car, and then another car panicked because they saw my lights, and they almost hit my car. So I had to swerve to avoid the second car. And I was like, I don't even know who to stop anymore. They're both terrible. But it's I've
You go after the guy. You go after the guy that started the whole thing, right?
Yeah.
Yep. I'm like,
Yeah,
it's your fault.
there's crazy drivers out there, man. Me and my wife were coming back from her doctor appointment the other day, and we were going down the interstate. It was 70 miles an hour. I'm doing 70, and here it comes, and it's the lanes. It's like 6 lanes, right?
Yeah.
And they're all full, but we're all moving at a 70 mile per hour steady speed. And here comes this moron, and he comes in and cuts right in front of my truck, and the rear end of his truck just about clipped me. He's looking at his window, going in and out of traffic like this, and I'm just thinking that right there is how people die every day and get killed and hurt.
Yep.
I'm just thinking, man, like if I had not hit my brakes and not been watching around me, because I seen him come up in my side view mirror, and I'm always checking my mirrors. Had I not seen him and hit my brakes, he'd have probably clipped me and spun me around.
Driving is like 50% anticipation.
Yeah.
It's all anticipation. You got to, you're not just looking at the car in front of you. You're looking 4 or 5 car lengths up ahead. It's like that here. We always have construction on Highway 390, Interstate 390, where I live in. I'm telling you, man, what I can't stand are those people that you knew 2 miles back that this right lane is ending, and you want to fly
Yep.
all the way up to the front,
Right.
and you could see it coming, right? So you know what I do? I will now, because I drive a Toyota Highlander. It's a 2018. It's pretty bulky.
That's nice car.
I will hog both lanes because as long as I can keep those car jumpers behind me, I won't have to have that delay in traffic anymore. And they get
Right.
pissed, man. They get pissed at you when you do that.
I've done that before too. I have a 2012 Dodge Ram 3500 with the extended cab and the 8-foot bed, and I will just park myself in 2 lanes, and I'm
I'm telling you, dude, I will, and
So
I'll
like,
get people that are behind me that'll do it.
It's like just merge like a normal human being. It's
Right.
like,
There's no other way to teach him except for that. That's the only way you're going to
We
teach
would
him.
not be stopped in traffic right now if y'all just moved to the middle lane 2 miles ago. Like
Right.
why is your time more important than my time?
Like the
Unless you got
sign
somebody-
says, 2 miles back, right lane ending merge.
Yeah,
Yep.
merge. Is your
It's like,
mama
it was-
dying?
if it surprised you, you weren't paying enough attention. Like it should
You're
not
right.
have.
Yeah.
Oh gosh.
That's a good
I've
question,
got places
Dalton.
like that. I've had people do that. Like I've stopped people because we have places like that that kind of merge down to one lane where one turns all of a sudden, and then the other one goes straight, and then people will drive past, and then sometimes they'll drive up like they're going to cut someone off. They'll see my patrol car in that line, and then I'll see them scoot back and cut someone behind me off because they don't want to do it in front of me. Or I've had them cut my patrol car off.
Wow.
I'm like, are you kidding me? And I'm like, all right, well, I guess I'll
Yeah.
pull you over. You're gonna be even later than you were before. So, oh man.
I'm telling
Yeah,
you, man, people drive crazy, man. They just have no consideration for, and especially when people are on motorcycles, they really have to watch for the drivers because drivers will not watch for them, especially those people, man. And and there's been, I'm sure there's probably been some pretty bad accidents on motorcycles where people have not been paying attention and just run them over, man.
Yep. Yeah, it's I couldn't imagine driving a motorcycle with the current driving of people today. But
Oh my gosh, man. People are crazy.
I'd kill myself on it. Dalton says, tell CJ that his car unit is one Adam 7. That's his call. CJ knows that. He knows that's his call. But that wants
for
me to,
LSPDFR.
that prompted me to ask you, CJ, are you going to change your call sign to Paul 6'2" now?
I am on it. 6'7", you mean?
6'7". Sorry.
6'7", Paul 6'7". Yeah, but I was going to ask you, how do I do it? And do I go 6 Paul 7 in the INI? Because you can't do Paul 6'7".
I would do because SLRP has area 1, 2, 3, and 4.
Okay.
So the first one, I would just pick 1 through 4. I usually just pick 4. So I'm 4, Frank, 5, 6. So you could be like 4, Paul, 6, 7. You know what I mean?
Because they're gonna
Yeah.
hear that first part.
Yeah, and you only need to change it in two mods, and that's grammar police and immersive dispatch, unless you have traffic policer, because then they have a call sign I also.
I thought about making a whole new clean copy of LSPFR and trying traffic policer because I really love using that handheld radar gun just
Yeah.
to see how well it would run, because I hear a lot of people have issues with it because it's so outdated. But I thought about running it just to see what I could do, because that's one of the reasons I love traffic policer. What 2 reasons? The custom pullover on it, which we have a custom pullover plugin
Yep.
now, but that's the only mod they have that you can use that handheld radar gun. And I love sitting on them overpasses and shooting the radar down and
Yeah.
getting the cars coming down the interstate and then jumping my squad car.
You know,
and,
they have that in
and-
SLRP, you know.
Oh, they do?
Yeah, Benzo uses it. Benzo uses it all the time. That's the thing. You just make sure when you get senior deputy, you apply for TED. You'll love it, man.
You
Yeah, they
guys-
have
Oh, I
the,
can't wait for
LiDAR?
that. Yeah, I can't wait to run radar,
What?
man.
Is there a LiDAR in that game?
what's LiDAR?
Oh, you guys don't know what
It's-
LiDAR is?
Isn't it like
No, no.
ALPR?
Oh man. What's that?
Isn't it like ALPR where it like scans your plates and everything?
No, this is so at my police department, I'm a radar and LiDAR instructor. They're both speed measuring devices, so I teach other officers how to use them. So LiDAR is so radar uses radio waves to measure the speed of vehicles using frequency. LiDAR it looks very similar, but there's a sight on it, and it's a red dot sight, and you point it at the car, and what it does is it shoots a laser pulse to that car, and when the pulse bounces back, it'll give you the exact speed of that car.
Yeah.
So it's much more accurate than radar, and you always know, because radar will pick up a field of cars. So sometimes it's hard to tell what car you're picking up, at least in the real world, obviously. But LiDAR is always super specific. You know exactly what car, and it's more accurate. I love it. But you can
Yeah,
only
that
use
is
it
cool.
stationary. You can only use it
They
stationary.
do have it.
That's
I didn't know the name of it. I was gonna say my wife has LiDAR.
Oh my god.
She knows every time I'm lying. Damn it. Hey, what's up, Aussie? How you doing, man? Well, yeah, they do. Yeah, SLRP, that's exactly what they have. It's because you could see the little red dot. They also have a breathalyzer in there now that you can use, and it'll beep and it'll show up on your screen.
That's cool.
I'm telling you, it's amazing what you can do on PC with games now, man.
Yeah, it's
I will
wild.
never go back to a console ever in my life. I will be PC gamer forever. Avion says, Jeff, check your DMs and
Oh,
have
me
CJ
too.
check his in like 5 minutes if he can.
Who?
So
Avion.
I was gonna send us another car pack. That'd be sick.
Farmer Cop, I got a question for you. What is
Yeah.
your favorite mod for Farming Sim?
Oh,
I know it's
gosh,
probably a hard
easy
question.
Good question.
Easy development tools, easy.
Oh,
But an actual mod, I would say, because easy development tools is like, obviously I use that the most, and that's my favorite. But
Yeah.
like a legit final answer to that, I would have to say it might be like a legit tool or something like that, other than like a gameplay thing that makes my life easier. Because I love course play and I love a lot of mods like that. But like, if I was to say like a tool or implement that I love the most, I'd say the milling machine.
Yeah, good one.
The
That
milling
one
machine. Yeah.
Yep. That one's just so versatile, so unrealistic, but I love it.
I was
So
gonna
versatile.
ask you because I haven't looked yet. Do you have tutorials on course play? Because I just got into it.
So that is and I'm back and forth. I do not have any, but who does have some really good ones is the Farm Sim guy.
Okay. Yeah, I know what you're talking
Oh,
about. Yeah.
And his are structured different than like I do my tutorials, but he's tutorials on his channel are pretty well put together.
Okay.
So he's got some good stuff on there. And I'm back and forth. I don't know if I go back and forth. That's the only thing I really haven't done a tutorial on that people are still asking about regularly. So I might do a tutorial series on it at some point, but I think right now I've done so many tutorials that I have a couple more coming up and then that I have planned. And then after that, barring any new mods that come out, I'm probably going to focus on gameplay for a few weeks. Because there's so many maps I want to play on that I haven't played on yet. in
Hey,
FS19
Wallbanger.
before
What's
FS22
going on,
comes
my man?
out. And I know I'm not
Yeah.
going to get to all of them, but at the same time, it'll be nice to get I just started a new gameplay series this last week, and I'll probably keep doing several gameplay series as we lead up to FS22. But I want to focus a little bit more on playing on some maps and having some fun for a little bit. But I definitely I don't know if I'll do it. I'm back and forth still. But yeah.
Now do you have a certain amount? Like, is there like specific mods that that you're going to install into your game every time you go into Farm Sim? Like, I know you said you have different files. Like, for example, like ones that I use is like save player action, speed player mods, store deliveries, time scale. Do you have certain mods that you're going to install every time you create a new mods folder in FS19?
Yes. So I have, and there's way more that I probably would install almost regularly, but like the ones that come to mind immediately, like some are super obvious, like disable camera collision.
Mhm.
I always run that. Easy development tool, since I do content creation. Even if I'm not going to
Right.
use it to put anything in the game, I still use it to make thumbnails and stuff like that because I can put it in flight
Right.
mode.
Flight mode, yeah.
Yep. And I can take away all the HUD, or the HUD, so it makes it
Yeah.
easier for that. And then animal screen extended. I almost always run that because that allows you to hold down the enter key when you're transferring animals, and it'll do it instead of having to hit it every time.
Is that part of Global Company?
No, that's its own mod. That's a standalone.
And it's called what?
It's called Animal Screen Extension.
Animal Screen Extension. I'm gonna have to write that down.
I feel
real
like I've
quick.
heard of
I think
that.
it requires Global Company, but let me double check. Animal Screen Extended. And nope, it's a GTX mod, so it does not require Global Company.
All right.
Now, the other one that I'll use a lot, because one of my least favorite things to do, and I don't know why, I love to do animals in Farm Sim, but I do not like to provide them with water. It just seems like a lot of work. So
Right, right.
I don't know why, but there's the animal pen extension, which I kind of group into that same category, and that allows you to it'll put water pipes that you can move around and adjust on
Yeah.
every single animal pen. So that one I run a lot.
Yeah, that's cool how you can move them. And I didn't know you can move them
Yeah.
pipes until about
I didn't either for the longest time, and then all of a sudden I
Yeah.
accidentally hopped into it, and I was like, "Oh, this is kind of cool. I didn't know I could do this."
Yeah, because they're usually always in place when you go to have the plumber build it. There you got your pipe on the water trough, and then you've got your nozzles that turn, your taps. And so that's how I did it. I was messing one day. I walked up to it, I clicked a button or something, and it moved. I was like, whoa, wait a minute, can I move this around? So I actually end up putting my tap away from the pin, like up in the grass. It was a little bit more realistic. So, but yeah, the animal pin extensions are pretty cool, man. I really like that about Global Company. That's really
You
cool.
use it you don't have to pay for the install or wait for it if you use most modded animal pens, I've noticed.
Most
Most
modded
of
animal
them-
pins.
Yeah, mostly they'll just put the two things right on top of each other, and you just get them in them and move them in. So most of them will work with it pretty well. Sorry, my camera's all blurry there.
Oh man, I thought I was getting drunk I was like, I haven't been drinking.
Like I've seen a very fuzzy farmer cop.
Okay,
are
so you said, sorry, Jeffrey, I'm sorry.
No, go ahead, man.
I was just gonna say you said animal screen extension, right?
Yep.
And then most modded animal pins. Did you say that?
The animal pen extended the animal, what are they called? Animal pen extension.
I've got that
animal
one.
pen and then the other one's animal screen.
Okay.
Let me look it up. Animal screen extended. Are they both by GTX? Yep, they're both by GTX. GTX does a lot of mods that are similar to what you would maybe see a lot of times in Global Company mods, but they don't require Global Company. So they're usually pretty cool. And then, I would actually just encourage you, if you go into the mod hub, select out when you get to one of those mods, hit GTX on who created it, and look at all the stuff he's done. 'Cause he's got a lot of cool stuff in there.
Yeah, I'll check that out, man.
And then the other mod I always run is Global Company for two reasons. Even if I'm not going to run any Global Company mods, I have the base mod in there because it allows me to. It has extended placeable built into it, and it also has the horse helper, which I hate riding horses in Farm Sim, so I don't do it.
Yeah, me too.
So
Yeah, it's a lot of help, man. It helps you a lot, that horse helper.
Yeah, that
really
one's I
does.
think that's just a must-have.
Oh, absolutely, yeah.
It's like, well, I have
Absolutely.
8 horses. It's like, it's been 40 minutes doing this, or I could drop a little cash. And I was like, I'll take the cash.
And you got to ride them each 5 minutes a day, and that's in real time. So if you got 8
Yeah.
horses, that's what, 40 minutes?
Yep.
8 horses, 40 minutes. Yeah.
Wow.
So yeah, yeah.
God forbid you have the big pen. You're putting an hour and 20 minutes into it every day. Yeah.
And all they do is produce other horses, right? That's their only productivity, right?
Horses. They just slowly gain value until you train them, but it takes so much
That's it.
time. I think you have to ride them. I think like per horse, it's something I can't remember what exactly it is, but if you calculate from when you buy them till when you get, they max out at 50 grand, being worth 50 grand, and you buy them for 5 grand. But I think it's like over the course of like, I want to say like 6 to 8 days. So it's like, that's like 45 minutes of work to make 50 grand. So it might be, I mean, it's definitely worth it.
Oh, it's definitely worth it. Yeah.
But at the same time, it's like, nah, I'll just do the horse helper. That's fine.
Yeah. But if you sell 8 horses for 50 grand a piece, that's a lot of dough.
Oh,
That's
yeah.
a lot of dough in FS19. It's hard to make money. So, Jeffrey, what was you going to ask Farmer Cop?
Oh, I forgot.
Sorry, man. I'm sorry. I just
No,
want to make sure I had the
no,
mods.
it's all good.
Yeah, I just want to make sure I know what
So
mods he was
Proxy,
talking about. So I'm
I
going to
am
check
in
those
the
mods. So
top
animal
left.
screen
How's it going?
extensions. And I have the
Yeah.
animal extendables. I have that. The animal
Yeah.
pin extensions. I have that one. Yeah.
Yeah, the animal screen's really cool because, and also too, when you go into the dialogue box, it gives you at the top, which you don't get in base game, which doesn't make any sense. It gives you how many animals over the max number of animals for that pen that can go in there. So for me, I use that when I do map tours because I can go up to the ones built into the game and hit R, and it'll show me how many that thing can hold without me having to put them in there to find out.
Okay. I got you. I got you.
So that's super useful for map tours for me. But yeah,
Yeah, they have so many cool mods for FS19. I cannot wait to see the mods are going to have for FS22. I know they're already talking about a few mods that are already going to have in development for or ready to go for FS22 when it comes out. So I
Yeah.
can't wait to see that, man. I cannot wait.
Honestly, the thing, and Jeffrey, you'll love it too. I'm sure you're excited about the new build. I don't know if you guys watch FarmCon at all, but some of the new build mode stuff they got going on. Have you guys seen any of that?
The build mode?
Yeah.
You mean where you can build stuff from the ground up?
So in FS22, this is one of the features they announced. They have like a build mode. It's like it's like the landscaping mode is now, but for the new game they incorporated all the buildings into that screen. So it's all in one screen, so it's super easy. And the thing I'm pumped about the most is you can drag fences around.
Oh, see,
Oh
that new
man.
fence, that old fence way
Oh,
was
it's
such
terrible.
a pain in the ass.
Yeah.
And
It
the
is.
undo. How could they not have an undo
It's a
button?
piece of fence like that
know.
big, and you got to put down
Yeah.
like 50 of them.
Yeah, and then you
Yeah,
got to
it-
line
it-
them
there's
up,
no undo
right? Because
button.
your
I will
fences
be
are
hon-
like this.
Yeah, I didn't see I was hoping in the new one, and I don't know if I mean again it's not the game's not done yet, but I was hoping that because I've landscaped some stuff on accident, like, oh yeah, I didn't mean to make a
Okay,
massive
John.
mountain there
Not
all
bad,
of a sudden.
just, with
It's like
some
that
things
was
to
my bad.
discourage, you know what I mean?
So it's like, but I don't see I didn't see, and again they didn't announce it or anything. I'm hoping they have an undo button for like if you go into build mode and you build a
Yes,
bunch of stuff
dude.
and you're like, oh, I hate everything I did. You can just hit no, I don't want to do any of that stuff that I did this one time in build mode. I'm hoping
Yep.
they'll have that, but we'll see.
Or like you said, you actually drag that shovel, and now you've got this pond that you just put in the middle of your driveway, and you just want to
Yeah.
undo it, but no.
Yeah.
Now you
Yeah.
got to level the ground, then you got to put your
Yep.
gravel or whatever the texture is. You got to put that back.
Yeah.
It's just, oh my gosh, it's
Well,
a
and
pain in the
I
butt.
also was hoping they'd have it so like you can flatten a surface. I was hoping they'd have it so you could angle that and flatten to make
Yeah.
hills easier, but
Yeah,
I
I'm sure it's gonna
didn't
be
see
know what
that
I mean
feature
there,
that they
Game
showed
Tron.
off. So I'm
It's
hoping
not
but
going down
I'm
without
not
a
gonna
fight.
hold my
It's not
breath
going
on
down
it.
without
But
a fight.
Yeah. But the other option that you said that they're going to incorporate, the fence one, that was one of, because especially on a farm, right? Because you've
Yeah.
got hundreds of yards of fence,
Yep.
and each one has to go in, and you're trying to adjust your angle of your camera, and you're like, all right, I think it's straight, but then when you go to sky view, your fence is going wonky this way,
Yeah.
and you're like, shit, I thought it was going the
I
right
feel
way,
like-
you know?
I mean, I know I feel like I could build a real fence faster than I can in FS19. Like, I almost
Exactly,
feel like
man.
and I feel like I make it better, but it just takes so long to make a good fence. I have Quiet Hitman on my channel, who's one of my moderators, along with Jason. Quiet Hitman, I met him because he started making like mods for me because he's getting into modding. So like I had them like for No Man's Land, I had them make me like these super long fences that I could just place one fence down to cover a huge area because
Yeah.
it just is so much. He'd be able to take fences and just mod it so it was a bunch of the same thing together. But yeah, it just is a lot of work to place a fence down. But yeah, the new one looked great, and you can also add gates wherever you want, so you can place
Cool.
gates into it.
So it's like The Sims. It's like The Sims
Yeah,
way of doing fencing.
yep. It's
Got
so much better, and that's also how you end up placing like for the new crops like grapes and olives. That's how you end up placing the vineyards, as you place them in that same using that
Oh,
same
okay.
similar tool. So you don't plan on using a planter, you buy them and place them in that sense.
Oh, that's cool.
But yeah,
Yeah, maybe I'll get back. I need to get into Farming Simulator a
It
little
is
more than
raining
I
cats and
have.
dogs here at my house, man. I can hear it pouring down rain
Is it
outside.
really?
And yeah, and my wife and my wife and our two of our girls went down to the fair, and I tried to tell her not to go tonight. It wouldn't be a good night, and now it's pouring down rain, and I can't leave to go get
Oh
her.
man,
Oh,
She'll learn.
she's not going to be happy when she gets home.
She'll learn. I told her, I said, you better not go tonight. I said, it might be a
Oh,
bad night to
man.
go. And so when she gets home, like, oh my God, it was pouring down rain. I was like, well, I tried to tell you not to go.
do you gotta go
I'm
get her,
actually-
CJ?
Nah, it should be all right.
I was gonna say, if you gotta go get her, I mean, we can wrap it up.
Sang. Yeah, I gotta watch. I'm gonna be watching a movie with Jenny. We're gonna watch a movie. I forget the actor's name. He's from Better Call Saul. But it's a movie where he's just an average guy who, I don't know, it just looks like a good movie, good action flick. So we're gonna watch that tonight. It's gonna be great. It's gonna be great.
It's gonna be
"No,
great.
He said she'll be all right.
Okay.
Jeez. So what do you want to do?
man.
You want to y'all ready to wrap it up? You want me
Yeah, I'm
to?
probably because I can't get a hold of her on her phone. I think that maybe our messages aren't going through to each other. So I'm probably going to ride down by the fairgrounds, which is right down by the road, right down the road here, and just see if her and the kids are out somewhere. I don't want to leave her out in the rain, but I tried to
right.
tell her not to
Sound like a
go,
good call.
man.
Yeah, yeah.
I tried to tell her not to go, and I told her, I said, well, just leave Ray right here, which is our 2-year-old. So she's here. She's with my mom and dad in the next room, but I said, just don't take her. You want to take Jazz and Chloe, I said, go ahead and take them. But, Ray don't need to go. And all them people, she's just too little. It's too many kids for my wife to keep up with. Us 3 kids,
yeah,
a
that's a lot.
10-year-old, an 8-year-old, and then a 2-year-old. On top of that, our 2-year-old, she's our wild child. And when we take her out, we got to put one of them little backpack straps on her. So when she's with us, we have the backpack strap on her and we, keep track of her. So, but I told her, I said, just take the, Jazz and Chloe with you and just leave the little one here. But now it's pouring down rain, so I get to laugh at her all the way home.
As a
Well, I will
husband
say,
should.
guys, this has been a ton of fun. I mean, I'm a type of person I could sit here and chat with you all night, I'm sure, but
Oh,
it
us
was a
too,
great
man. Yeah,
show.
we enjoyed having you on, Farmer
Yeah.
Cop.
it
We
was
enjoyed
a
you
ton of
having
fun
on,
being
man.
here with you guys.
We love it when the guests are very active and
Yeah.
Yeah.
talkative. And we've had, and I'm sure they're not watching right now, but we've had some guests where, I could sit here, I got a cricket button, it plays a cricket sound effect. And I could press that button the entire stream, because they weren't active.
They
But we love
weren't.
all
They
of our
wouldn't
guests.
talk. Yeah.
So all of our past guests, we get it. Some people are shy.
So usually the problem with me is getting me to be quiet. That's usually yeah.
But it's okay though. We would rather have guests like you that come on and want to talk about things or just want to talk in general than to have somebody sit there going,
Yeah.
just not saying anything, because that's what we have Meet the Gamers for is, is it's a place for us to come to where we don't game and we just sit and kind of chit chat and hang out with each other, and have different special guests. So
Well, if you ever want me on again, you just let me know. I'd be happy to come back on.
yeah, man, we'll bring you back on sometime, man. Absolutely, man. So yeah, we appreciate you being on here, guys and girls. Farmer Cop as special guest tonight on episode number 41 of Meet the Gamers. He is
41.
linked at the very top of our descriptions. He is down there, and also Jeffrey and Cookies is linked as well. Go check them out and show some love, guys. That's going to be it for me tonight. And thank you, Farmer Cop, for being on. We appreciate you being here, man.
Definitely.
I know we've been trying to get you in here for quite a while now, so we had a couple different dates set up, but it all got worked out, and we're glad to have you on, man. You're a very good special guest, man. We're just happy to have you here, man. So
Thank you. I appreciate that.
yeah, man. So Jeffrey,
Absolutely.
take us home.
Yeah, that's what like CJ said. His link is right down in the description. Go check him out. Go show him some love.
Absolutely.
Farmer Cop, thank you so much for coming on. Thank you for being active in the, and chatting and not shutting up. It's a beautiful thing. We
Yeah,
love
it
that.
is.
Yeah.
He said not shutting up.
Cookies, you talk too much. You need to slow it down a little bit.
Yeah, I
All right.
apologize about that. I apologize.
And of course, CJ, man, it's always a pleasure rolling with you guys. And again, big shout out to Farmer Cop and big shout out to everybody in the chat, all the moderators, all the members, all the donos that came through today, and all the love that y'all showed. I don't know who we have on our next show. It is going to be 2 weeks from now. We go on every other week now. Not sure who it is. I think we don't have anybody. Cookies was talking about maybe having Steven
So,
from SLRP.
what we're gonna be doing for next episode is I've gathered Stefan. He will be coming on, and I've talked to Jeffrey about maybe having an SLRP FD night. And
There we
so
go.
I have
That'd be cool.
I have a really good amount of numbers of FD personnel that are coming on.
Okay.
So,
Yeah, that would be pretty cool. So be on the lookout for that. And yeah, that'll be it. Until next time, everybody, take care, stay in prayer, love one another, and peace out.
He's
Later,
been
y'all.
doing my
Later, guys.
sign.